All right, good evening, folks. It is Wednesday night, and that means it's time for action from the American Richie Mahjong League. Nathaniel and Ichika here to bring you the action. How's it going?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be commentating again. It's been a while since I last watched a few games, so I'm excited to jump in and see where everyone is, you know, see what everyone's doing.
Yeah, we've got a lot of games happening tonight, and actually this week. This Wednesday, we're opening with a Division C2 matchup and perhaps C1 next, and all the way up through the ranks, maybe culminating in an A1 match. Well, this particular game, we've got Adam, Scott, Alex, and Catherine duking it out. And I have to say, Catherine had an excellent finish in the last game, the third game of this series. Frog Lady, an excellent username, and she was killing it in the last game with a plus 60 something, 50 something. It was awesome. So we'll see if Catherine can keep up the good work. But we've got Scott leading us off in the dealer seat. What do you make of this hand?
I think this is actually an excellent hand to start out with. You have almost a guaranteed Ipeco shape drawing into that 5-pin. You have a pair in the 9, but you can also make that into a potential Novaton weight with the 6, 7, 8 shape if you get the 8 mon. This is just a high potential hand. And then just discarding that one, so slight backfire because you would have got a pair, but also guaranteeing potentially moving towards a Tanyao shape, cutting that 9-1. So I think it's a really strong starting hand for Scott.
Yeah, even going so far as to decline the Ishanten after drawing the 1-mon. Wants better shapes than that. Well, on the right, we've got excellent shapes and almost too many good shapes. Gonna have to trim down. I kind of like the idea of cutting the 5-pin here and holding out for maybe a 7-8-9 Sanchoku, but at this point, it seems a little bit unlikely, although discarding a potential pair from the hand. Across the table, Catherine, maybe with some relatively weak shapes, and on the left, it is Alex.
I've been watching that. I'm so excited. This takes the shampoo weight, potential Sananko if they draw the 2-so or 6-mon. However, 2-sos are both held. Oh, it comes out Hatsu. Hatsudora 2, absolutely acceptable, but we were so close to that Suanko. I was so excited.
I was really curious to see if Alex would be greedy and drop the 8-pin, 9-pin, but instead played it standard, I would say, not trying to get too crazy, especially already being in the top of this division, plus 230.4 for Alex in the double promotion range, so doesn't need to do anything too crazy, just needs to keep this up. And also not taking the Ricci there on the somewhat awkward weight. It seems that some theory is in play here, so
I
shout
am
out to that.
curious as to what you would do with the hand on the left of Scott's hand. Started out with an Anko of the South, a pair of dragons, of red dragons, and then one each of the East Wind and North Wind, pair of 9-pin, pair of 4-mon, and a singular 9-so. So that was the high pie. So would you have God for potential Achanta hand trying to keep the honor tiles and maybe discarding the 4, which is a very good floater tile, or would you just kind of play this standard and discard all the useless shapes and just sees what comes in? Obviously, he's doing a great job
Yeah, this
because
has
we're
got
close
bigger.
to Swanko again. But
Ishan 10 for
if
that.
you weren't so lucky,
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Like I'm not sure if how likely Chanta is at that point, but definitely feels like playing for pairs or maybe triplets, toy toy could be an option. I think I would have cut one of the fours. Now, if that was the 4-pin or the 4-so, I'm not sure. Hopefully, I would have been the 4-so because these 4 pins are looking pretty in our hand.
across the way, also some pretty nice shapes. Not a complete block yet, but every single block in that hand is Ramen weight. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that was a really interesting decision whether or not to take the chi because, there's a chance at the 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku, although you really need the 6-so. And you might be worried a little bit about the possibility of drawing the 9-so and not having Tanyao, all simples as your Yaku. But in this case, Alex has enough shapes that you don't really have to worry about that too much. If you draw the 9, so you can throw it back and you'll be fine. In fact, going so far as to throw the 8, so now preemptively, but Scott's going to find the Tempai and declare Ricci waiting 9-pin and Red Dragon.
That's an excellent weight, except they are both Mochi Mochi with Catherine, which is very funny, actually. She has both of the red dragons and the 9-pin. But depending on how close
Hump.
she gets to Tenpai, she is, I believe, 2 Shanten right now. She might choose to drop one of those shapes as they are
Sumo.
the outer edge weights, I would say.
I
Those are
agree, but
usually the first ones dropped.
yeah, Alex is going to get there first. Managed to hang on to the tempi there. And I do agree with you. I think that 9 pin was a step away from coming out, but the sumo comes in first and saves Catherine from a deal-in.
On the Tuso again for Alex. 2
Okay.
wins in a row with the Tuso.
Special tile, perhaps. Well,
Now it is.
for sure. Catherine has the dealership now. South Dora, East 3, maybe the makings of an Itsu in the Pinzu, the full straight 1 through 9, just missing a 3 pin and a 6 pin. The right, one of the South wins for the South player. Would like to pair that up and then be able to call that for Yakuhai Dora 3. Across the table, Scott with a hand that looks like it wants to reach you soon. Maybe you get Tanya out of that as well. And on the left, a Pinfu type hand, going for sequences most likely. Already 2 away from Tenpai.
Catherine could be making the decision to maybe even go for a full flush. I know it's not super obvious because you have other tiles,
Mm-hmm.
but with how disconnected all of her other shapes are or other tiles and suits that are not Pinzu, it's actually not as far as you think if you can just keep collecting the Pinzu tiles. There's nothing you're really risking by discarding a random 9-mon here.
I agree, and I might even call that 3 pin there, not only for the flush potential, but also you still needed that 3 pin for the Itsu, and so I think that's an acceptable call. And as you're saying, if you took a look at that initial set of tiles and thought about the ones that didn't really fit in, the 1 mon that already was Suji to the 4, or the 1 so that was already Suji to the 4, and this other terminal 9 mon, like if you remove those from the hand and imagine replacing those with pin tiles, you realize you're not actually that far away from the flush, as you were saying. So maybe we'll consider it in the future. So far, so good. It has drawn the 3 pin, so no need to call that. Pluck it out of the wall.
No progress being made on the left, but we have a little bit of progress, I think, being made across the way, going more, filling the 9-so shape, I believe. Sorry, I didn't see what she pulled, or he pulled.
Yeah, Scott is indeed making progress, and it's going to be curious what the pair is going to be in this hand. The 1-2-2-2 shape is really nice if you're looking for the pair, because, of course, pairing up the 1 mon will do that, but also the 3 mon draw gives you a 1-2-3 sequence and the 2 mon pair. Now just drawing the 9 mon, so that could act as the
That
pair for the
might
hand.
be the pair, especially since you can see 2 1-mon already discarded by Catherine.
Good point. Yeah, I probably would just cut the 1 mon there and take my Ishandam. Okay,
Decides to cut the 9, deciding maybe thinking the 1-3 is still a better pair weight.
maybe dreaming of Tanya a little bit too.
Definitely options, especially if you get the 7-so, you can fill that 6-8 Kanchan and then discard the 9-so and then get the Tanya out. Also,
Each.
that potentially moves us over to a 6-7-8 Sanshoku if they draw anything else in the Manzu. But it is too late because Adam has got there first.
Yeah, Adam
Ricci
slammed the
waiting on
Ricci.
the 7-so.
Had the choice actually between the 7 so Penchon that we see here, the edge weight, and a Shampon weight, double pair weight on the 8 so and 3 mon. And actually, what I kind of like doing in this spot is to just cut the 9 so and Dama, looking for a mon tile to upgrade our shape or our value or our weight, one of the 3. Maybe multiple. For example, if you draw the 2 mon, you're left with a 1-4-7 mon weight, which is really strong. You get extra value of Pinfu, and if you draw the 1 so, you get Itsu as well, the full straight. I tend to be greedy in this type of position, but we can see so far Adam hasn't really drawn any improvements, so it would have just been sitting there silently.
And what's dangerous about that silent Tenpai or that Dama Tenpai is there is no Yaku with that hand. So even though he would have been in Tenpai waiting for an upgrade, he could not win if someone else did discard a 7-so.
Right, we just have to sumo it himself. Well, speaking of drawing it yourself, that is
Each.
a 7 so pull in for Scott that will give him Tempai. Slams the Ricci on 5 so, 6 so. 2 tiles left in the wall for that weight. No 7 so left in the wall for Adam on the left.
It would need to come out of either Catherine's hand or
guess
I'm sorry,
Alex as
Alex's
well.
hand
And
on the right. However, it might come out of Catherine's hand first if she gets a 5 or 8, so to fill in that 6, 7 block. But if she ends up getting a actually, maybe not. Maybe
oh,
she
the
would even cut
6.
the form on.
This is Tempai now,
Yeah.
so you could jam the 6. So it's Nakatsuji. The 3 and the 9 have come out from the left. The 6 is the Suji in the middle, and it will come out. I like the push as the dealer. It deals in, but for only 1,300, that's totally fine outcome. A nice read. You know, sometimes Nakatsuji isn't Genbutsu, no matter how it feels in practice. But I still would have pushed that 100% of the time. All right, let me make one little modification here.
So looking at our dealer's hand, Alex, lots of honor tiles, maybe looking for that Chanta hand or maybe even a Suiso, depending on how many tiles they draw. But also has a really nice 3-4 pin Ryamin potential upgrade into a Honitsu with that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this dealer hand goes. Tumon Dora is going to be a little bit interesting. I mean, you'd like to find the flush, but you're not really sure which suit it's going to be. Maybe it's just a flush of the honors.
I really like I'm sorry, I was still trying to get the names. Alex's push right there of the 3-1, kind of looking to maybe keep this a Honitsu kind of hand, but still cutting out and keeping the value of the 2 Mandora just in case a connector gets drawn. And as we see here, there's only 2 out. So Alex has one and Catherine has one, but Scott is looking for a 2 Mon to fill that 3-4 shape. But maybe it could just be a Chitoi Suiso, another 3 pairs of honors. But I hope he just starts calling them. We see something fun today.
It's been a while. Actually, we saw a Tsuiso recently, I think in Armel. If I recall correctly, that happened just a couple days ago. I believe. Which
I
match is
have
that? A1
I
or
missed it.
A2?
I haven't been able to watch some games.
It was an all-last Yakuman.
Was it also a Yakchen? Was it like 4th place trying to get to 1st place?
I do not remember, but we do have the East pair up now.
This could be so Show Sushi. No one else except for Toyman across the way has any of the extra honor tiles.
Oh, there's the East.
When
There'll
the
be a
East comes
call.
out, it's definitely getting called.
This is Alex making a big play. If Alex had passed that call, would have drawn the Hatsu and been playing for the 7 pair Tsuiso. Oh no, but the 3's gonna come out and Catherine's gonna shut down the dream.
It was a wonderful dream. Just a little bit too slow, and maybe if they didn't pawn the East, would have drawn the Hatsu and then kept the game going, because Catherine would not have been Tenpai yet. But
Still,
alas,
I don't think
here
I'd
we
be able to
go.
pass that up. I don't think I could pass up that pawn.
Absolutely not. You would be playing like a different type of mahjong if you passed that pawn.
You know, I have heard people say that when you're going for the wins or the dragons, Daisangen, Shosushi, that it's okay to pass up a win. You prefer to draw your tile and pair something else up first and maybe disguise what your plan is. But I don't know how much I believe that.
I have to say though, Alex is still being rewarded because that's a really great high pie. You already have a 1-2-3 shape finished. You have another Ramen pair on the 4-4-5. You have a Ramen in the 2-3 so and a round con on the 5-7-9 pin. Like really, really nice shapes. So didn't quite get the Yakuman, but is still getting great hands from the wall.
Yeah, unfortunate little backfire on the right for Adam. 9-pin first cut. Immediately comes back out from the wall. Wall says, hey, remember to check the door.
It is very hard to remember to check the doors sometimes when playing online because you're just looking at your hand and you're like, okay, this one is totally useless.
Right?
Although it was an interesting decision to cut the 9 pin over one of those guest wins that he has.
Might be thinking about maybe building towards a flush because the hand looks somewhat hard to complete. And is collecting more so tiles, so maybe we'll see. Oh no, just going to confirm the shape.
Really nice Pinzu shapes across the way for Catherine. I love when I open my hand and I immediately see an Anko of something. You're like, okay, I can set it and forget it. People might want this and they're never going to get it. So, really nice shapes for her. And then Ishanten.
Yeah, if she draws the 5 pin, we'll get that beautiful 3-sided. Wait, hello.
Hello, commentator's blessing.
Call shot now. All the 2-pin are gone. Well, Scott was in danger there. His hand looked like it could be a flush, but he didn't drop the 2-pin on Ipatsu.
I think he was maybe waiting for later to see if something else in that sushi passes. Oh, but this 6 mon is so nice.
It's also
really
safe.
Can improve his shape.
1-mon, 2-mon. Okay.
I like this play quite a bit because you still want to maintain your dealership, but he's maximizing safety.
Okay, maybe call for Toy Toy. This is the last West. No, letting it go. Just maybe cheat with the play. Oh, this is too many.
The 5. Probably will cut the 2-mon, just continue that 1-2 cut. Nope, does end up cutting the 5, and it will be the win for Catherine, I believe. 3,600.
Yes. Ricci Dora plus the Ricci stick back. Catherine will hop back over 3,000 points, so into the positive Uma territory. Not positive Uma, but it's positive points total. Adam, nice first draw. It always feels wonderful to fill a penchant, edge weight, and your first draw as the dealer.
Unfortunately, quite a bit of work to do on this. Oh no, disconnected.
Didn't get to see the beautiful penchant fill, or maybe saw it and it had it frozen in front of him. Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, that is absolutely so sad. Will someone save him? Yes, Catherine saves him from another discarded draw by pawning the red dragon early. Cutting the 8, kind of guaranteeing her shapes. Her shapes look great. A floater on the 6-so and the 8-pin for 1 more needed.
Nice fill.
1 more needed shape. Sorry.
Oh, wait, is he disconnected too? Or playing for pairs? What's going on? I'm nervous.
Everyone? I'm so nervous.
Is Tenho crashing? Alex is still good.
Catherine also looks good. All right, that was a Tadashi for Adam.
Okay, maybe a small hiccup. I know earlier the Watch Games tab wasn't really working for viewers, but it's up now. It's back. It looks like Scott's also back. All right. Alex with a really nice.
I'm just waiting for everyone. Yeah. We are in the South round, so unfortunately, that pair of East, that's us. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at these names. That Alex has across the way cannot be called, but it is still a very nice hand, especially with the Dora the Dora in the hand. I would maybe even go and cut the extra 3-pin early just to guarantee use of this 2-pin Dora.
Yeah, I guess you might
I don't think it's going to.
You only keep it, I guess, if you're thinking about Sonako, but the 6-so already came out, so I agree.
Well, he cuts it in time anyway. I always feel like tiles around Dora tend to be what tiles people want the most. So if I have a way to cut them early without impacting my hand, I feel like that's usually the most efficient play or defensive play for the late game.
Yeah, maybe one consideration to keep the 3-pin is if you think you might be able to use the door twice and make 2 sequences out of that. But given the way the rest of the shapes are somewhat established, it seems a little less likely. So I'm in agreement with you here. Second call for Catherine on the right into Tempai, waiting on the 7-pin. Not, the best weight typically, this edge weight. However, when you see a couple of the 6-pins having been cut early, you might start to believe that the 7-pin is more likely to come out later in the round.
And if another 6-pin is discarded here, I think that is a excellent observation.
Ooh, will she switch weight?
Does switch the weight to a 5-pin, 8-pin Shanpon, one each held by Adam here in the dealer seat, but unlikely to be able to use both, especially because of exactly what you said. All the 6-pins are gone. Catherine, not winning, decides.
Oh, another.
Is she also disconnected?
I think this is a Tenho issue. There's no way that everyone's having problems like this, right? And it's gonna miss the second win as well.
Oh, and that does absolutely get Adam into safety.
Temporarily, we do have an Alex Ricci.
Gets I believe, the best draw by filling in the Ryankon instead of the Ryadmin, and then ends up getting a 1-4 weight.
Oh, look at this. This is just the big brain play by Catherine to earn 1,000 extra points.
And especially to earn it from first place directly, instead of taking it from third place. So
if that is the difference at the end of this game, that extra 1,000 points, that's going to be some high-level disconnect right there.
Catherine is playing the disconnect. Did you ever see that one post by Rigi Nomi where they're like, what is the correct play here? You have 2 people in Rigi. You have 5 Dora in your hand, but you have to push a super dangerous tile. Do you know what the correct answer to do is?
What is it?
The correct answer is to disconnect, and you press auto win, and then you just leave. So it will disconnect, throw the dangerous tile, and then eventually auto win, maybe your big win. So that was the correct answer that was decided.
That's fantastic. And also fantastic is this early Ricci on the Dora by Adam. What a move. Could have taken the 2-sided weight with Pinfu and Tanya. Says, no, I want the Dora. And gets it to Onipatsu turn for the Mangan.
Absolutely incredible. It was also once cut, so this would have been the perfect once cut Hatsu weight. My favorite, my personal favorite, actually is the once cut Hatsu. And it's Dora, so even more special.
Absolutely fantastic from Adam. Yeah, I think it would have been hard for me to not play for the Tanyao Pinfu Ipeiko, big sumo chance, but instead gets rewarded for the Dora play. And now I guess I'm learning something about the power of once cut Hatsudanki.
Once cut Hatsudanki.
Speaking of Hatsu, there it goes, and we'll see the pawn from Adam straight into Ishanten.
I wonder if Scott's going to pawn this white dragon. Considering his current position, if he calls it, it will severely limit the value of his hand. He does have 1 west, but at the moment, just 1. So it would be interesting if he tries to play this hand closed in Ricci, hoping for Uradora, or opens with the white dragon and mitigate damage, so to say, and keep a 4th place, but a very minor 4th place.
Sure, and it also benefits Scott to make sure that at least one other player is below 30,000 points with him if he does end up in 4th. The one way to open the hand maybe with the white dragon is if you're playing for Toy Toy, but kind of on the border of having enough callable pairs for that. I think with the number of pairs that we have, I am somewhat inclined to keep the Dora and hope for maybe 7 pairs with 2 Dora, which could be a way to get us out of last and maybe even over 30,000 points.
I agree. I think I would probably have cut the 8 so over the west Dora, especially because you already have a nice 5-6 ramen shape. So there's not much that the 8 is doing that the west couldn't also do.
And here is that.
And now we're considering it.
Yeah, we'll call.
So now is overblocked. So Scott now has 6 shapes. You have the 1-mon pair, the 5-mon pair, the 2-pin pair, the 4-5 ramen, and the 5-6 so ramen. So we'll need to cut 1. Just which one?
Meantime, our dealer is making progress 1 away from Tempai now.
Would be a really nice weight if they can pull the
8
4-pin con, middleweight.
There's the call into Tempai. Can't wait on 2-pin or 1-pin. Cutting any of the Monzu will break Tempai. Go with the 2-pin. The nice thing about a Tonki weight, such as this single pair weight, is that you can switch it around whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, Alex still trying to get to Tempai, still Ishan 10. Very interesting is how right now Alex's goal is to get over 30,000, obviously first place, but he just needs to guarantee 1,000 points to get 5,000 points in
1
Uma should he get over 30,000. Does
Yeah.
decide to reach E,
And I do
waiting on that 4-pin Kanchan, one left in the wall.
I really appreciate the tank on that decision, because the option to go 9mon was valid. You could also Dama and hope for a connector to the 3-pin or 5-pin, or in this case, even drawing the 9 so for a weight improvement. But ultimately, I think at this spot, it's totally fine to slam the Ricci here and pressure the table, especially because there's a couple players that are open and not they don't have that many defensive resources available to them.
No, Adam is looking at his hand saying, all right, I have the 4-mon. I don't have anything else at the moment. Oh, but that is going to be Tempai for Scott on the 1-mon, 5-mon Champon way,
4
which will come out here from our dealer, Alex. So Scott does mitigate his damage winning a 1-han hand, but most importantly, keeping our dealer below 30k to make sure he doesn't lose an extra 5 points of Uma.
All right, so will be the minus 21.9 for Scott. Alex with the minus 7.9. A valiant effort at Ayakumon. Fell short to Catherine's one on hand, as is often the case. Catherine finishing with second place, plus 8.8, continuing to climb in the series. And Adam to first place, plus 21.0 with that fantastic Door Tonki on the Hatsu. We'll see the standings.
That was such a great play because you're right. There was a lot of options that his hand could have gone. You could have had a much wider weight cutting the Hatsu, but decided the Dora value is better. It's super early, and it's once cut. So what a great decision.
All right, and standings have indeed updated. Alex still in that double promotion zone, plus 222.5. Catherine moving up a bunch in this series, hoping to make it over the positives. And hey, for all the folks in the C2 division, it is a big goal to finish the season even with 1 point. As long as it's positive, you have a chance at maybe earning yourself a bonus promotion spot. It's getting harder and harder to earn those with just a positive promotion as the league continues to grow, but it still is theoretically possible. So we're hitting around the middle of the season. We're about past the middle of the season for many people, and that's typically the time where folks start to think about, you know, what are my goals? Is my goal to get a promotion, guaranteed promotion spot? Is it to get a positive spot just to get over 0? Is it to avoid one of the relegation spots? And in the C2 division, it's a little bit different because, you know, it is the bottom division for all the new entrants, and so they don't necessarily have a lower division relegation zone, or they might, depending on how many entrants there are for the next season. But in our next series, the C1 series, they definitely will have that to play for, and so we'll definitely be taking a look at the standings and watching for the promotion zone and the relegation zone at the same time.
I have heard at one point that C1, when that was the lowest league available, was a little bit like the Wild West of Mahjong because there's nowhere to go but up. So there's a lot more benefit to trying to go for those larger hands and winning bigger amounts of points because, as they say, there's nowhere to fail to. You can only stay in C1 or you can move up. There's also the strategy of just being very consistently maybe second, third, going on that positive and hoping for that bonus promotion spot. And I think that is now very similar in the C2 division where you see some really big swingy plays, but also really fun play styles of people who are coming in the first time playing any kind of Mahjong league and those who are already very experienced in playing online Mahjong and are just trying to move up the ladder as they go.
So here's something that's really funny. My mic says it's muted, or it was muted. I don't know how long that's been the case. Have I been here? Has it just been the Ichika show?
Oh my gosh, that would
Folks in
be
chat,
so awkward.
folks in chat, let us know. Have I been muted this entire game? Or have we been, has it just been this past minute? Yes. Yes, I was muted. We can hear me. Okay. It might have been just that past minute. That would have been
Okay, I was like,
hilarious.
there's no way you were muted that because I could hear you the whole time. So I was responding to you, and that would have been so funny to listen
Okay,
to a very
excellent,
one-sided
excellent. Just
conversation.
the past minute. Beautiful. Exactly what we love to hear. All right, well, we do have a new game that is underway. The series started a little bit later than we were expecting, so we got to catch that C2 game. And now we're going to head over to a C1 Table 4. I believe this is the start of the
You said
series.
we're slowly moving our way upwards in our division ranking, starting with C2, moving to C1, and maybe somewhere in the Bs next, and then to the A1 match potentially at the very end of the night. I already love what I see right here for Jake's hand. Has the fourth tune in his hand ready to con, but not quite there yet, but possibly waiting till he gets Tempai or very close to it.
Is Jake a Rinshan fan? Is that the plan?
I think it is, but I believe it is Tempai over there on the right. 2-5, so all being held by Kyra. And that does not look like it's coming out of her hand anytime soon.
Yeah, folks, if you know pronunciations, I don't know if it's Kira or Kyra. I know Akira personally, but I also know Akira, so if you know in chat,
I also know.
We do see the poll from RV Bishop. Michael decides Suanko isn't necessary. We've got Toy Toy Tanya, that can be Saranko as well.
And most importantly, holding those 2-so away from Cameron does end up drawing the 6-so. Now we are Toy Toy Tempai 4-pin, 8-pin. It is being the 4 pins are also being held by Cameron. Oh
no!
Does it come out?
Cons the Dylan tile into the hand. It will be 678 Satanshoku and Tanya for Cameron. By the way, I love the username for Cameron here. Applying, he will do exactly what has just occurred. That is, win directly from other players. And, well, I have to say this game has gone really quickly. That was only like 10 minutes into the game. We're already into the South rounds.
RV Bishop Michael across the way, already having a pair of his win, the West win, and the pair of the Red Dragon. We'll definitely call both of those when they come out, I believe. And then a lot more pairs.
Yeah.
So actually, this could be Chitoy. It is Chitoy Ishanten. Oh, but draws the third Red Dragon. What to do? Probably South.
Play for Suanko?
Probably South. I think play for Suanko. Another Suanko chance.
We've seen way too many of those in the short amount of time that we've been broadcasting tonight.
I'm gonna call it the Ichigo luck.
Is that how
because
many?
I haven't seen how many potential Yakuman can you see when you want to watch Yakuman happen?
All right, who can beat this Yakuman? Let's see who's the Dora. Our dealer certainly holding one, potential to grab more as well. The others are just all in the wall.
Cameron pods the White Dragon for his Yaku. Still quite far away, but does now have a guaranteed Yaku to start calling. In currently first place, he does want to maintain that and just kind of keep the game moving along, besides trying to keep the dealer in his seat.
Interesting choice in the blocks here. We'll play efficiently the 4 Mon. And I'm just looking at
I believe that should be a pawn
홈,
from
yes,
Cameron. Yes, it is.
9 pin
Cutting the 9-pin.
continues with the efficient play. I'm just looking at the Michael's hand and trying to see how many of these can turn into triplets. The 4 is held. The 6 Mon is held. The 3 Mon has 1 left in the wall. So Suanko cannot be found with the current arrangement of pairs.
Oh, excellent Kanchan draw for Jake here in our dealer seat, upgrading that 7, upgrading to a 369 weight over here on the Sozu. Still, I believe, 2 Shanten.
This is awkward. We'll play the 3 back. It would have been very funny to drop the 5 pin there and have 2 of the Jiankan 357 shapes. One in the Manzu, one in the Pinzu. But we will see Pon of the 6 Mon. Looks like Michael will be playing for the Toito once again.
Unfortunately, I don't think the Force, though, is going to come out. But I think the West should be callable, assuming it's not in the dead wall. Because no one else has it at the moment.
And there's the potential that the 3 Mon could come out as well. So we could see the win for Michael. Ishanten, though, on the left.
홈,
There is the 3-Mon pawn.
홈,
Looks very much potentially like a Manzu Honitsu, actually. So it is very interesting.
Dong.
But the 6-0 is dropped, and Jake, our dealer, will win for a Tanyao. No, or Tanyao plus Dora.
Trading Pon there, but Jake will come out on top, pick up the 2,900 points, and repeat as the dealer.
Another really nice hand for dealer. Seeing this, I would be thinking about some kind of flush hand immediately, but still kind of waiting to see what would connect to my torso.
And that 6-0,
But we'll see.
yeah, starts to make me less inclined to play for the flush, but as you say, you never know what the draws will give. If you draw a 9-pin, you can think about going back to the flush ideas, but this Mon draw now all but seals our Tonyo fate.
Something that I think I have experienced watching Armel, or watching and casting Armel over a couple of seasons now, is how the skill level of players have evolved tremendously, especially with people who we would say, I think were too tunnel visioned into a single hand. And like really going for like this Sanshoku or really forcing this flush. But now we're seeing a lot of people kind of still commit to those bigger hands, but leaving options to see what the wall decides to give them.
Yeah, I think that's a really big deal. Although maybe I do commit to 2-3-4 Sancho a bit too much.
Well, there are some favorite Yakus that always win, as we know.
Always. 100%.
Always. Especially right now, 4-Mon is Dora, and Toyman across the way, Michael, has 2 of them.
Yeah, call the Hatsu already, so has the Yaku confirmed. Just needs to fill out the rest of these shapes. Grabs another one
I
with
will
the
cut
2.
the 8-Mon. If only the 4-Mon wasn't Dora, it would have probably been a Chanta play here, actually.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
But the value of 1 Han Chanta versus 2 4-Mon is not quite the trade-off you should be willing to give.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that the situation comes out where the 8-so comes from Cameron. I wonder if Michael will chi that 8-so and cut one of the penchant shapes to get a shape improvement, but ends up drawing the 5-Mon and switching over this direction.
Very interesting call here, because there really is no other pair option except for the 4-Mon, and it's not like you really want to get the 6, because then you don't want to cut the 4. I guess you could also cut the 1, but then you still would need some kind of pair.
Right, exactly. And the hope would be you draw a 2-pin, 1-pin, then you can cut the 1-Mon and draw 3-Mon, 6-Mon, something along those lines. But it seems a bit of a stretch. I think Michael thought about that and said, you know what, I actually don't really want this 5-Mon, just as the same line of reason that you were talking about. Hey, hang on a second, there's a Tempai with the other pair of Dora, and this 2-pin doesn't fit.
Dum.
And that will be the Chi Toy Dora too. Nice, easy 6,400 points plus 1 Humba.
A beautiful little...
What recheat? I wonder if they would have got the epods if they recheat. Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, I am inclined to believe not, but you know, if you're only getting Mongon as your benefit for Ricci. Getting 6,400 is not that far off. It seems pretty good compensation. But if you hit Uda2 or hit that Ipatsu for Hanemon, definitely are wishing you had the Ricci. You can never predict that though. And it looks like she might be looking at another early Tempai here.
I know Kyra's high pie was absolutely beautiful. First draw being the 6 pin that fills her shape quite nicely. Has a Anko of the East Wind, although it is not the round wind or her wind. It does help out if she does decide to go for a flush. However, this 8-9 mon
Ricci.
currently in her hand does make Tempai, so we'll end up just taking the Ricci.
Yeah, it feels kind of sad to
Ricci.
take this Ricci only when you are actually pretty close to, I don't know, maybe drawing the 6-pin or 9-pin for Ipeiko, maybe drawing a triplet for Suonko, something along those lines. But ultimately, the improvements are a little bit tricky to find here. And she decides just to take it.
Kyra is in first place right now, although it is a very small first place considering our dealer right now, Cameron, was only 500 points behind. But if she can get her direct competition off the dealer seat and also win something small, I think that could also be counted as a pretty good win for Kyra. Or Kira, as we said.
Let's pick one and go and run with it. Oh, Khan?
Come.
Oh, Khan!
All right.
Doesn't flip herself anything with the 5-mon, however, gives herself an extra Ura chance.
Now, the 7-mon weight is 3 live in the wall, so not that bad considering it's an edge weight. And Penchon, typically pretty low win rate, but might be difficult for other players to avoid this given that the sumo just draw it out of the wall.
And the sumo! Ricci Sumo. No Ura, unfortunately, but it will be the 1,002.
Now, the big con of honors or terminals, like as 32 Fu, bumps up the value a lot.
I agree with the chat right now. Content, love to see it. Love to see it. And Cameron over there trying to maintain above 30k, maybe get a Mangan. It's certainly doable with a pair of the South Windora as his own seat wind. And then Kira doing her best to kind of sumo something and end the game, and also ideally sumo something big enough that gets Cameron under 30k. Oh, excellent draw for Kira. Can maybe end up switching one of those Penchon weights, the 8-9 weights, to a Ramen weight on this 3-4. It does decide to cut the 8-9 Manzu Penchon instead of the 8-9 Sozu Penchon.
Actually, I really struggle with these decisions when they are basically exactly the same. I'd like there to be one distinguishing factor, and there just isn't. Well, now the 9-so, 8-so looks a little bit better, perhaps.
There is a distinguishing factor, Nathaniel. Don't you know the theory?
Oh, what is that?
Schrodinger's Penchon, no matter which one you cut, you will draw the other one.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is true. I was worried that you were going to say something about Sanso adjacency, but I can get behind the Schrodinger's Penchon. That is a theory I do subscribe to.
Oh, I am very curious to see where this north wind is, because Cameron decided not to call either of them. Sorry, they both are out, and he had the pair from the beginning. So I'm very curious as to why he didn't call it, given it is his seat wind and has a pair of Dora too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe thinking I want the south, and that will be my Mongon, and the north will be my pair. But you can call the north and the south too and find your pair later. Oh, but here we go. Here's the south.
He does have the three mon pair. Does call it. We'll cut the 3. And now we'll likely also end up cutting the 6-8 mon as well,
Yeah,
considering he is once again overblocked.
Yeah, big lock in there for Cameron, finding the Mongon. Now he just has to find the tiles to win. Notably, he had a lot of call options ahead of time, not just the north, but also the 3-mon, the 1-so, to move in the direction of Tempai with ahead of calling the south. But he didn't want to reveal too much information. Now that the south is showing, he's going to have to find those tiles again. Tempai for dealer. Going to slam on the Kanchan. Brave against Dora. Triplet showing. But he says, this
Lucky
is...
for Go ahead.
This is his route to getting up to a top
She.
spot, so he's going to take it.
Absolutely. And luckily for Michael, there is 2 left still in the wall. Except unfortunately, Kyra has the other 2, and it looks like they will probably be used in her hand. Although she has a extra 4/6 Kanchan pair. So if she doesn't get that and ends up pulling something like the 6, she might end up cutting this 6/4.
Yeah,
Playing it really safe and deciding probably to bow out here.
understandably so. This is definitely a spot where you want to be on the defensive side. Also, Cameron ending up cutting the pay pair. That's the safety tiles. Could call here, but it reduces perhaps some of his options.
Ooh, Sozu is super dangerous right here to Michael. You have no information about Sozu.
Willing to
Does
risk
push it. Kyra draws a third 4-so. Only 1 left now in the wall.
And she's running out of defensive options too. Tries 9-pin, 9-pin. Oh, there's the last one.
Oh, there's the last one. Probably 1 pin first. Yep, because that was just discarded by dealer. And
Can
I
Cameron get
still
away?
Ishan pen
No, he cannot.
for Jake.
wrong.
That will be the 3,900. Does unfortunately drop Cameron down below 30K. However, because our dealer won, that means we get to repeat. There's no such thing here as you even if Michael as dealership in his dealership gets above Kira, he will still have to play until he either is not Tempai at the end or loses. So we'll see how long he can keep his dealership running.
And it could be a little bit to go. This is a pretty nice high pie. Question marks as to whether he will be able to use the Tuso door or not, but so far so good. Early call on the right from Kaira. It is Toy Toy North, not a Yaku high, but lots of other relatively callable pairs in the hand. Maybe even a flush. No, has cut the lower monsters, so definitely playing for the Toy Toy. Oh, look at this.
Amazing draw for Michael. Oh my gosh.
So many blocks.
Probably 8 pin. Yeah.
Yep.
Or there's another option of cutting 1 mon, maybe hedging a Tanyao shape as well.
Yeah, gonna
But
play the 6
honestly,
blocks with the 8-pin cut, and that's a totally fine option. Yeah, it's really tough to make this choice. They're all reasonable.
I mean, if he draws a 6/9 pin, he is just there. He's Tempai. Another choice.
Pinhu? The 1-mon, 1-mon?
I like the Pinfu shift quite a bit. 1 mon. There looks to be a 1-2-3 Sanchoku Chanta Sanchoku attempt on the left over here for Cameron. Does get the 8-so this does look quite promising.
A big question is going to be what the pair is going to be. And Cameron's committing with a 3-mon. I really like this type of play when you are forcing an outside hand, is to make sure that you're not holding too many pairs of central tiles. And this leaves more options to draw your pair in the honors. In fact, draws the 3-so connecting to the door shape, so 1 away from Tempai.
And I think the wall's rewarding him for his bravery of cutting that 3-mon.
Yeah,
And so it will likely be a Chanta hand, hoping to pair up that white dragon or green dragon. However, unbeknownst to Cameron, 3 of those 2-mon are being held by Jake across the way there in a beautiful Anko for his hand that will likely never be discarded. And so there is 1 left in the wall for him.
In this spot, if I'm Cameron, I'm looking at the table. I'm seeing 2 3-mon discarded early, and I have a third 3-mon in hand. I'm thinking the 2-mon looks amazing in the wall. I cannot wait to wait on this 2-mon, only to find that someone has it ankoed up. Tragedy.
Well, there is a potential that it does get cut if he reaches for that exact same reason, right?
That's
you see 2 3-mon, you might see a couple 4-mon. It could end up looking safe. If he ends up cutting a 5-mon later, then it would also be Suji trapped. And now he has shifted, now having an extra 9-pin and 9-mon, so it is no longer Sanshoku. Oh, and there's Tempai! Not Chanta, but Jun-chan Sanchoku.
There it is.
Either you love this hand or you hate this hand, but there is one more Tumon in the wall, 3 in Jake's hand, and everyone else is getting close to this Tenpai.
Oh, I don't know how you could not love this hand. It's so pretty. It just needs the last 2-mon. And Kira's fighting a little bit here. We do have the 9-mon pawn into Ishan 10. 6-pin not really clear though.
Tanshoku Dora. With 1 Ura, I believe this will be a Baimon hand. Or Tsumo.
Shoku Dora. Sumo Uda? Yeah, that would do it.
Alright, where is this last Tumon?
3's not there. Maybe.
Our good friend Penguin Knight believes in Junchan Sanshoku. Believes with all his heart.
This is his classic comeback hand in all last is Junshan Sanshoku. Can he give the energy to Cameron to find that last 2-mon?
This will overtake into first place, and I don't know why I thought this was South 4 this whole time, but it's not.
Certainly it feels like it when it's your last dealership for perspective of Michael. Could call this into a Tenpai, will not. Wants to get there closed. It is not finding the draws. Backs away. Says it's too hard to push this
I don't think
forward.
anyone knows how big this hand actually is.
No.
Considering it's only using 1 Dora. Oh, quite a nice draw, but already cut the 8.
Tenpai.
And now we have Tenpai, yep, for Kira, 7-mon east.
And amazingly,
And it will be
3 players
3
get
people
to Tenpai.
Tenpai.
The last 2-mon Deadwall.
That is so devastating. I'm so sorry, Cameron. I feel you in my heart.
Still, we can all appreciate the gorgeous hand that was built. And now, our dealer is the leader in interesting position, the only player over 30,000 points. So in position to earn a bonus 5 points of Uma, if she can maintain that sort of advantage.
I'm thinking it could even be advantageous to deal in 1,000 points to Jake right now, just to end the game. But you'd have to see if it can be guaranteed 1,000 points. That's the dangerous part of Sashikomi is sometimes you deal into a bigger thing than you think. Oh, but there is a potential con on the left for Michael. Not quite yet ready. Also, the 3 ones can be used as a 1, 2, 3, but that is something fun to think about for later.
Yeah, right now, that extra one has some utility. With the 6-mon drop, we'll just take the con and maybe play for a flush. 9-mon becomes the new Dora.
They do have 1 in hand, as well as one of the original Dora. A flush is possible, but it's a little bit difficult considering you still need at least 2 more shapes with the shapes in the flush suit, and our dealer Akira has quite a lot of Monzu tiles as well.
Yeah, big blocker on the 6s. Hard for players to make use of tiles around those around the central 6. And Jake with a huge 4-so draw brings him to Ishan 10 with potential 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku.
You are so much better at spotting these Sanshokus than I am.
Oh,
Looking at these
well,
hands.
it's normal to play the 3 here for Piru, but I don't know. What do you think about playing the 6-mon out instead for a guaranteed 5,200 points?
I think... Oh, that's so difficult. 27. I think if you get the 4 and you guarantee that 5,200, that does guarantee a Gyak 10 at least into 3rd place.
Right.
I'm not sure off the top of my head if it will guarantee it 2nd place, but I think higher acceptance, because Pinfu, you have the 26% chance of getting Ura.
Right, and there's
which
2
is
indicators as
very
well.
close. So I feel like I would, because of the 2 indicators, I would probably do the exact same thing Jake did.
Well, we
And
do have
ignore the Sanshoku.
a dealer Tenpai will take the slam here. It is Entotsu weight, 3-mon, 6-mon, 9-mon, but pretty 10. She'll have to draw it herself. 1 3-mon left in the wall. believe one 9-mon as well. Would be a huge hand to pull in one of those winners.
And I think no 6 months. So that is very unfortunate for Kira. But at least if anyone else is Tenpai, they will at least have a chance to repeat their dealership and maintain this lead. But I am curious as to like maybe there is also the option
Now that Richi
of just
stick will
not
make
taking
this.
there.
Yeah, the Richi stick will make this enough value without Ura, but hits the Ura as well, and that's gonna put him into second place.
Second place. Kira luckily does maintain the first place position and then also the only person above 30k, so does get that extra 5 points of Uma, that floating Uma. Excuse excuse me. I thought it was very interesting though, because there was not really a need to Ricci that, considering if at the very end she called no 10, she would have only lost at maximum 3,000 points and then kept the game pretty much in the same position it ends up in.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. Now, it's easy to miss Furiten on a complex weight like that. And if that's the case, it's certainly understandable to take the Richi and aim for the win. With a Furiten, maybe you just say, Aidama because I have to sumo anyway. And sometimes I could just switch the weight to something that I can run with. But in the end, I don't think it would have changed very much in this hand. Kira spent 4,900 points to gain 5,000 points, essentially. So picked up 100 points in an exchange.
I think Kira is outplaying everyone. Honestly, she DC'd to Rod off of current first place to get that extra 1,000 points, if we don't forget, and then ended up dealing in for 4,900 points to get back 5,000 points. So I think she's just big braining us.
All right. Well, we've got more games underway. They're about to start. Of course, there's B16, 2 minutes. Daniel, Ricky, Ari, and Anya. And there's another game playing at this table in C14. We only caught half of the last game, so we could stick with this for one more game. What do you think?
Honestly, where is the B1 table at?
B1, Daniel, Ricky, Ari, Anya.
I am a big fan of watching Anya play because I think she is someone who makes very fun and interesting plays. So I'm very inclined to see what's happening over there.
All right, let's do it. We're hopping around the league. We're trying to catch as many divisions as possible. This will be Division 3. And they should be starting any second now. They are indeed underway. So I'll just take a moment to update a couple things for us. I'll leave the commentary to you. We do have
East 1 about turn 5, and we already see 2 calls, which is a pretty quick on calls for one of the higher divisions. We have West being called over there by Snick, and then on the left we have the Haku called potential flush options if more Sozu show up in this hand. Daniel here as dealer, very classic Pinfu, Tanya Pinfu shaped hand. Maybe even Sanshoku if they can shift down in this Pinzu shape. And then over there on the right, a lot of open shapes can accept a lot of things, but nothing quite completed. Pushing towards a Tanyao hand to be able to open. Oh, and I believe this is a very interesting acceptance. I think I would probably cut the 8-mon here. No, decides to cut the 3. 8-mon I'm thinking because then you are keeping open 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6 on Shoku.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
But I do also agree of just kind of sliding up and just waiting for the Sozu shape. Unfortunately for Daniel, they don't know that 5 of the 8 tiles that he needs is across the way. Oh. Does cut the 8-mon now. Little bit interesting.
Perfect Ishanten. Maybe worried about the Furiten Saman-chan. Could just call this an attempt. I think with the threat of 3 players open on the board, decides to just try to convert what he can get out of this, although so many tiles of this weight are held. Are there any tiles left?
I think there's 4 so left on the left.
1-4 so for Anya, and then the 5-8 is but
Don't.
she switches the weight to 4-7,
no.
and that will deal in for the 1500. A cheap dealer start, but it will get the ball rolling. Daniel gets the repeat here. Although I have to say, the hand on the right is what's drawing my attention already. One away from Tempai for Richie Pinfu. And across the
How do you
table.
get these good high pie? Especially like sometimes when you open your hand and you specifically see a completed block of the 1, 2, 3 or the 7, 8, 9, I just think to myself, oh my god, I'm so glad I don't have to wait on a Penchan or a Kanchan.
Right, I already
Like those
drew
make
the
me the
3.
happiest. I already drew the 3. I don't know which one was it, but I already have it.
This is Tempai.
And this
Each.
will take it, not the Pinfu that we thought it could be, but does end up with a very nice 5-8 mono weight and 6 in the wall. Oh, sorry, 5 in the wall.
I guess
Oh,
the
wait
weight.
1 turn could have been upgraded for Tanya. There's an 8 in Daniel's hand right now, but can be used.
Don't.
Decides to deal it because of the potential furry tin on the 9, and it will be Richie.
We does
Dora
well.
1. Yeah.
And not a lot for really any of the players to do. There's just not so much info. So understandable. So just push and see what happens. Ricky gets the dealership now in East 2. 8 Sudora.
I think early Richies are always such an interesting like strategy point of view because you're like, A, how big can it be? I'm dealer. Like there's so much that can go on the thought process for an early Richi. Especially some of my favorites is I have no safe tiles, so the safest tile to do is just push and win faster.
Honestly, it's really frustrating when you can't, you want to theorize and make reads about the player's discards, and there just isn't anything there to read. You just have to do the best with what you can, and like you said, it is really interesting to see how different playstyles react to that early Richi.
Ooh, really nice fill. I actually think Pult broke my Schrodinger's Penchant roll. He
Oh,
cut the 1, 2, and then pulled the 7 for the 8, 9.
that is huge. We need to get in touch with Ricky about this theory. How did he know? Scientists are wondering.
How did he know? Oh, this is so hard. On the left for Daniel, 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku potential here, but was just Tempai if he wanted to cut. Or sorry, was still Ishanten, but it's no pair in this hand.
If he draws the 4-5, so he's happy. If he gets the 1-pin chi or draw, what do you cut? I guess you just take the wide weight and hope to get the Sanchoku side, but in the end, I think you'll maybe switch to a Chanta Tanki in the future.
I would agree with that, but I'm more afraid of Anya reaching across the way for a Tanya 6-9 weight, so Takame on the 6 pin, but also you see 2 of the 1 pins, and that will be an Epot deal-in by Ricky over here.
Ishanten is
Reach
dealer.
Epot.
They need an attempt at the
think
hand.
in the early game, it's a good push. Also, Ricky is currently in 3rd place, guaranteed promotion zone, and to get to the top of the league, it's over 100 points. So if he does want to increase placement, he will need to play a bit aggressively.
Yeah, and like you said, I think especially in the early game, it's more common to see an aggressive push against a reach like that, and the damage wasn't too bad, so can feel somewhat justified. Now in East 3, Ari has the dealership. Green Dragon Dora, a little spicy, has already come out from the dealer.
Another interesting thing to mention before we move on to this hand was that previous Ricci was, I still think, a row 1, turn 5 Ricci. So another, for all intents purposes, early Ricci.
Right. Anya.
And yes, interesting that the Green Dragon already came out, but even better, it was not called by anyone else.
That's the scariest thing is you drop it, and you get that lag. No, somebody's going to call it. But in this case, went through cleanly. You can play for your hand without fear of the triplet. And speaking of triplets, Anya with a triplet of her wind on the right. Already one away from Tenpai for the 678 Sanchoku. I'm loving this hand.
Also, Ricky on the left making the transition to a Tanya hand to be able to call and win this early and win this relatively quick hand.
Yeah.
Ishan 10.
There's the potential that it turns into 7 pairs as well. So that could be a spicy twist. A lot of so tiles to draw.
Tenpai on this 7 pin, I believe, for this 678. So Sanchoku south. Oh, and
We'll
does
set the trap.
do the Tsumogiri Suji trap on the 7 pin. I don't know if anyone will
beats it
actually
out.
believe it. Oh, Daniel does believe it immediately.
No, Uda, but the Mangan hit for Anya says, "You can trust my weight is bad. I Tsumokiri Richi'd."
You can totally trust this. I always am afraid to trust the Tsumogiri or honestly any Suji weight to the door to the Richi tile, but Daniel's like, this hardly ever wins.
Like, what are the odds that they drew the perfect Suji tile to Tsumokiri Richi with? Like, it's gotta be. And they had a Tadashi before that. They waited 1 turn and drew the perfect tile? No, I can't believe it. Rome, 8,000.
Excellent play by Anya right there. And this is why everyone in Armel loves watching her play.
Indeed. And she gets the dealership here with the lead. Tumon,
Currently,
Tenpai,
we have
1 away from Tenpai.
Ishanten, yeah, 9 pin Dora, 1 on everyone's hands except Anya's. Anya's would like it to finish this 7-8 shape. But also, I don't think it would actually be too bad if she got the 6, because then she has this Tanyao shape as well.
Oh, I'm really excited for
So
the
I think
6-0.
either way, you get that plus.
I want to see the back-to-back 678 Sanchoku.
That would be incredible.
And I really do like this play of 9-so, 7-so cut here rather than playing a pair, because we do have the Tanyo option if we get to call the 6 pin, and also we can turn one of these pairs, the 3 pin or the 4-so, into a Diamond. And
Did draw the 8 and decide we're not doing the 6, 7, 8 again. Very, very convinced that she will either call one of the pairs that she already has or upgrade it to a Ramen.
Incidentally, we do see a call for 7, 8, 9 Sanchoku across the way. Ricky going for 2 Han. We'll need the 7-so twice, perhaps. And it's come out
he
twice
needs
already.
it once, would like it twice.
Right. Better Ishanten,
Perfect
Sun Uncle
Ishanten
chance.
here.
You're not really
8 pin will be a little bit difficult being door indicator. Oh, but there is the Tenpai. Will Anya take the Richi? Does take the Richi. Now waiting Shampone, 3 pin 4-so. I believe one left each in the wall.
Yeah, some players, I think most players will slam this Richi. Some might wait to get the Yamen shape, but Anya rewarded.
Anya knows the wall better than we do, Nathaniel. Haven't we figured this out yet?
Well, I was gonna say,
Ipatsumo.
what I really like about the Richi is the 4-so was Suji Trap. So it's having the double pair weight, even though it's on central tiles, isn't even that bad. In this case, it turns out to be really good with Ipatsumo.
Oh, and Anya already with a pair of the East for double East ready to call. And it does look like it might come out of Daniel's hand, maybe even right now.
I do think there was a Chi, so no Ipatsu, but...
Oh, no Ipatsu, sorry. Oh, the East does come out. Anya calls it. We are now immediately, everyone knows she has at least 2 Han.
And this is personally something that terrifies me as a non-dealer. When I see the dealer grab the East, and there's an easily usable Dora, I assume that hand is minimum 5,800 points. I want nothing to do with dealing into 5,800.
강,
Ricky getting 4 3-pins, doesn't even want to wait, calls immediately, gives everyone another extremely usable Dora attack. 5 so.
And I
But it's
say
still Ishan 10.
go for that, Con. You've got a great Ishanten here. Perfect Ishanten, you might say.
This would have been the perfect con into a Ricci.
I know, it did miss. And hang on a second. Daniel's getting
Oh.
Haku. Will this turn into
Looks
a
like
flush?
this might turn into a flush.
찌,
Absolutely.
봄,
Yeah, calling
Oh,
the
and I
nine so
think
straight
it's
away.
the commitment there. I love that play. I love the shift. Probably thought about it from the very first hand, which is why he didn't drop East, but instead dropped the 8-9 penchant, actually. And
Yeah.
it's just now being rewarded.
Tempai now on the 3
Oh,
so. But he
But
could
probably could even upgrade that very easily if they call the Haku to make it even more valuable as well.
exactly. Also, I wanted to point out Ricky had an interesting decision after that 7 mon draw. You could cut the 8 so there and use the 7 so as a pair and try to play the 7-8-8 mon as a diamond, given that the 9 so has been pulled, but instead chose to keep the current shape, so maybe also a little worried about cutting Sozu. And at this point with So Overflow, yeah, Ricky is not going to cut those out.
봄,
Instead, he'll get the call here for Tanyao Tenpai, Tanyao Dora 1.
8 so extremely loose in Anya's hand, and I feel like if there's any progression, it will be discarded. But we shall see. Maybe draws a connector tile.
Ricky may be pausing to consider the late switch to Toy Toy, but yeah, sticking with
Gee.
the current plan. And there's the call, progression made, but no, dodges the 8 so deal in. Still has to cut the 6 pin though.
Well, I think it still needs a shape, right? So we're Kutsuki Shanten on both sides.
Yep.
Right? 4, 6, 8, sorry, 6, 8. So that does not help. So she lives yet another draw.
And Ricky
Daniel
has
not getting anything.
yeah. Daniel switched to the Shabo. Ricky cannot drop the Dora 5 so, and that means that he's gotten off of Tenpai. So if Anya pulls in a pin tile for Tenpai, she can safely cut the 8 so away. Although again, it is rather late to be doing that. Ari,
Daniel
what did you
has
do?
made the slight change.
봄,
I think now Tuso Haku Tenpai.
No.
Oh. I missed that. Did she swap her tiles just now?
Called into
Ari?
a Tenpai. Oh yeah, Ari just made a slide, maintained the 3-pin, 6-pin weight, and did see the 6-pin come out. Anya correctly identifying that 8 so was a bit dangerous, but that would pass the dealership forward.
We are now into South 1. Daniel on his second dealership. Amazing Manzu tiles. Might be trying to go again for the flush. However, cutting the Haku does see a really, like, the 5-pin, 5 so floater tiles is really strong.
Love this dealer hand. And quite enjoy actually most of the hands around this table. And shout out to Killer Ducky. Thank you. It was awesome to meet you in person for the first time. Thanks again for all the work that you've done to make Mahjong accessible to everyone online.
I want to point out over there on the left for Anya, we are looking at a potential Pei Chun Chanta hand. And across the way, we also have a lot of interesting shapes pulling that 1 so we have a potential, we have the 1 2 3 4 5 6 in Sozu, a floating 8 so for potential Itsu as well, cutting that 6 mon.
Oh, 6 mon. Well, we are confirming the shapes as they are, it seems. Still a chance at the Itsu, though, if you draw a 9 so or 7 so. It will be Tenpai. And
Decides to keep the 2 so over the 3 so, the 3 pin. Makes sense considering the 1 pin has already been discarded and Ari holds 3 of the 4 pin.
Daniel thinking about going large. Hello, Fortunes. Anya will not con this time.
He is
Yeet.
not one for the content, or she is not one for the content.
Yeah, and maybe a huge play here as Daniel is slamming Richie, just choosing between 1, 4, 5 weight and the E Peiko for value. We'll go with Ipeko just on the 3-mon. And there is going to be the big chase from Ari. And the 9 so Takame dealing. It is the Itsu. The full straight for maximum value. Anipatsu turn. It's a Mangan for Ari.
Absolutely amazing play by Ari. Definitely saw the E, and then like we're slamming. Draws the best weight too. Draws the 7 to also guarantee pin.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And even if Daniel
Poor
had
Daniel.
chosen the other weight, it would not have made a difference. Ari was always slamming that too, so I'm going to win that hand.
Another potential con over here for Ricky. But this one looks too good to, or too easily used as a 4-5 round. At least currently.
At least currently. I know Ricky likes a con or two.
We all love cons. We're watching Mahjong on Twitch right now. We are all here for the content.
That is absolutely true. All right, Ricky. It's just a matter of time, right?
Just a matter of time. What else is happening across the way? We have a lot of shape improvement going. We have a 3-4-4-5 in Manzu, and then really nice Pinzu shapes. Potential Ipeko, upgrade the Ryamen to wait to get rid of the Penchon, which is everyone loves that. Ishan 10.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting choice to go 7 so first. This is the more defensive way to play. So if someone reaches, it's a little easier to pass the 9 so later than the 7 so. But you do lose some upgrades like the 6 so draw for Pihu. This is a temp by Shabo or Penchon weight. Probably the Shabo here. The 8 so looks very strong. And of course the West is a great weight as well.
West weight, best weight. Once cut West. This is, I believe, I just heard someone say this was their favorite weight, and it was not Rachel. I think it was someone from one of the LA clubs who was saying, I love a once cut West.
I would have immediately gone to Rachel as the main advocate of the West weight, but 8 so is going to come out first. Looks very a little harder to use with the 2-7 so cut. It's only going to be 2,000 points though for Ricky. He will get the repeat.
Arguably very important that Ricky took that from first place and gets to keep his dealership. Really nice high pie, a really strong 3-4-5 shape with an extra floating 3 and a very good ramen in the Pinzu. So just waiting to see what else comes his way. Slight backfire on the West Wind, but what can you do about that one?
Yeah, you only really get to keep that West if you've cut 2 pin first on your first discard, and you end up pairing the 2 pin up anyway, so no harm, no foul. Maybe a Tanyo on the right for Ari. Not a whole lot going on there. Across the way, 1 Dora, 2 so for Anya. Maybe a Tanyo there as well. And on the left, Daniel probably aiming for a Ricci. Maybe Ricci.
Amazing penchant fill for Ricky, even if it wasn't his intentional goal, considering he already paired up the 2 pin.
Yeah, it's interesting because maybe there were ideas of Tanya before that penchant. How about just fill another one? Look at that, back to back of the same shape.
This is when you know that this wall is favoring you just a little bit.
I feel like this
just
is
a little bit
twice now that Ricky is honestly way more than twice. Ricky just knows about penchants. Again, the scientists need to start working on Ricky. Get the questionnaire out, pick his brain, figure out how he draws these penchants, because we all want to know.
We all want to know. I believe this is Tempai over here for Daniel.
Yeah, you have to drop
we'll
the
take
Dora.
it for Ipeko, unfortunately. Drops the Dora for Ipeko. But does have South. So Ricci South Ipeko.
It was one of those
at
spots.
least 200.
I almost prefer cutting the 3 so and playing the 5-5-6-7-7 shape as a shape to find my pair. Certainly slamming the Ricci and playing pressure has some value, but the 6 so being twice visible on the board, I really like the idea of holding the Ishanten with the Dora a little bit better personally.
I wonder if that would have been a decision he would have made if he wasn't in this current point situation, being not just in 4th place, but being significantly below 3rd place as well.
I think you might be onto something there. Anya will draw a 7-mon, not like that. And not like the alternative 6-mon either. Just play 8-pin, 8-pin instead.
Ricky still looking for Tempai is Ishan 10, but I think will slam if he finds it.
Yeah, Ricky really values his dealerships and does like to fight for them. Does find the Tempai as well, so...
Each.
I believe this is it. This is also for the pin fu as well, so 3-6.
3-6, not super live. I believe there are 2 left in the wall, 1 of each tile. There's the 6.
But definitely can be used in Ari's hand.
Yeah. Ari backing away. There is 1 3-mon. And no 6-0 in the wall, so 1 versus 0 in the favor of the dealer. 1 draw for everyone.
We say that, but sometimes people will discard a random tile and we don't know why.
That's true. Sometimes that tile is the safest tile that just deals in, but in the end, we'll go to Ryu Kyoku draw. Ricky and Daniel picking up the 1,500 points. 2 Riichi sticks, 2 Honba now for the next winner.
2,600 points in the middle, which is actually quite significant if you're Ari and Anya, considering the gap between first place and second place is 300 points currently.
And Ari is not shying away, knows exactly what this hand is going to be. A flush in the Sozu. And already went away from Tempai.
Home.
Could even call the green dragon and drop the 7-so for an extra Han. Make this a Mangan, except for the 39 that currently is. But we'll just take the Ron from Anya. Turn, what, 5?
Insanely fast for Ari, and that will be a massive advantage here at 47.5. Anya still over 30,000 points in second place, so still a positive score here, but we're heading to the end of the game now. South 3, Ari dealership.
We do want to mention again, that was only a 300 point difference and a 3,900 point hand, but because of the 2,600 points in the middle, Ari is now significantly over Anya.
That and the direct hit. Big swing. I'm really curious about Daniel's hand across the table. Looked like it was considering a flush, but then he completed a sequence in the Monzu, so maybe it just turns into a Riichi or a Chitoi, something along those lines. Trying to use Dora for sure.
I do think in Daniel's position, and this is also just my own play style, but I would be really hesitant to open up my hand as I really value the Riichi and Uradora. Especially if I don't have too much Dora in my current hand.
Now, maybe in all last, if the gap is still this large, like 18,000 points, and it's very unlikely that you'll be able to surpass Ricky to get into third place, maybe then you open up and try to minimize damage and make sure that Ricky stays below 30,000 with you. But certainly in this spot, with these tiles, it feels like playing for the Riichi is the way you want to go. And Daniel is one of the players that I think has, that takes that play style the most. I think his Riichi rate is typically really high, and yeah, 20% Riichi rate this season.
That is very high. So yeah, I think he is also a very close player. Oh, a second Dora over there for Ricky.
Could just 3-mon right now lock the Dora pair.
Indeed does that. Now waiting on 3-5 Kanchan on the 4 and a 5-7-9 Ryeonmin in the Sozu. Daniel's still not quite getting extra So tiles.
No Riichi here from Ricky, looking for an improvement despite having Dora 2. Finds it. Look at this wait one turn.
His improvement. Wait one turn strategy is too good. Also, on the 1-4 pin, one pin is Takame for Ipeiko. And probably would be more likely to be discarded than the 4 pin if someone had both, because strategy dictates edge tiles are better to discard.
Look at how live this weight is in the wall. There are 5 tiles left in the wall.
Ricky knows how to read the wall, the right penchants, the right weights.
Daniel's in a really awkward spot here. Wants to fight the hand, but stuck with like this Chitoi Toi Toi, Suanko type hedge. Can't really be Suanko. The 5 so have come out already. 6-mon at least Nakasugi.
Ari still not necessarily needing to fight this hand, has a lot of really good, but with her current lead, it might even be a full fold from her.
Pump.
But she's not currently pushing that way yet.
Sumo.
Oh, and the tune call from Daniel gives Ricky the sumo.
Mangan Sumo will put Ricky over 30,000 points. And so now we're in that really awkward territory where Daniel is just playing for points here and hoping to maximize that points by bringing someone below 30,000 with him. And that would be targeting Anya if at all possible.
And Anya is in the best position for Daniel to target, being dealer. She would take the Oyakabari in the case of its sumo. But Ricky, already a very flush-looking hand, already got rid of every non-flush tile in his hand. So we'll be starting to look for calls and trying to overtake Ari here. Not impossible, but would need another moment.
7,300 the gap, so we'll take a little bit of work.
Does pull a pair of the south, so now it's at least a Mangan. If it's south Hatsu Honitsu.
And another connector 2 away from Tempai. That is quickly progressing for Ricky. Might not even need to open the hand at this rate.
Besides the 1-9 pin in Ricky's discard pile, all the door is currently still in the wall, so it is anyone's game.
So this is an interesting one. We'll call and hope to get both the Green Dragon and the South, but now if the One-So comes out, you're going to be Tempai with only 3 Han.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm actually not too sure what's going to happen. Because 3 Han is not enough to overtake first place, unless it is direct.
Interesting here. Okay, here's the question. We'll let it go.
Passes.
It's going to
At
play
least
for
the first
Mangan.
one.
There's also the
But
option
he
to...
also doesn't realize. Go ahead.
I was going to say cut the 2-So earlier ahead of the 5-So. That way, if the 5-So comes out, you can pull it and play for Toy Toy. But...
Ooh.
I chose the
Really
wider
nice
shape.
thinking there. Because by not calling the 1-mon, the 1-So, he almost also guarantees he will not be calling the 3-So. The 4th 4-mon has been drawn into Ari's hand.
Yeah,
And she is now each on 10.
Actually, Tempai on the 2-pin.
Oh, Tempai on the 2-pin, and Ricky has made it into Tempai. It declines the win from Daniel because he knows he needs it. Oh, you have to take it. You have to take it.
Don't.
Yeah, it's a sad one, I know.
Wanted to get the 52 directly from Ari, but instead just claims the win.
Even Ricky knew he had to take the second. But in great fight, 3rd place most of the game, and then in the last 2 hands was able to make his way up to 2nd place, and not only up to 2nd place, but putting the 40,000 point Anya into 3rd place, below 30k.
And so, with 1 game in the books, Ricky and Ari looking strong at 87.0 and 75.4 respectively in the standings. Actually, that has to be game 3 in the book, so only 1 more game left for these players.
Right. I am going to take my leave here since I have my own Armol games to start playing in about 20 minutes. I do.
Good luck in those.
Thank you very much. I had a great time, and I appreciate everyone coming to watch the Armol streams on Twitch. It's always a great time, and we love building this community.
Absolutely fantastic to do commentary with you again. We will have more action, and we can continue to dance around the leagues. Of course, B1 will be continuing, but there's a very interesting B2 table that has just started that we can hop into. How's it going? Ty, welcome to the broadcast.
I'm glad to be here. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well myself. I'm going to pump up your volume a little bit. And give me just one moment as I swap open the game. It was fantastic, Ty, to see you at the North Texas Open recently.
No, it was great seeing you there too. Glad you made it all the way down from Illinois for that. North Texas, that's Texas' first event in quite a while, and Laura put on quite a show. It was a lot of fun. Definitely worth the heat from that weekend.
Absolutely. And I know you brought a crew from Arkansas. There's actually a bunch of Midwest people, Kansas City, Oklahoma, a bunch of Texas locals. And it was my first time meeting a lot of the central US or more central US players at a tournament. And as you said, Laura did a great job running the event. And I think everyone had a fantastic time.
Oh no, absolutely. I think that tournament is going to be a mainstay for quite a while, just because I think it fits in alongside Chicago in kind of helping like Middle America find their tournaments. Like we can't let the coasts have all the fun.
That's absolutely true. As we're talking about this, the game that I'm trying to load refuses to do so. I wonder if the link is actually broken. We might be going back to the B1 series. But I'm hoping Tenho is just not down. If it is, we might be in trouble.
I can look as well and see if there's anything happening on my end.
Now, on my end, both games refuse to load.
Let's see.
Tenho might actually be down for me completely. But that being the case, we still have some time to let this load.
Let's see. If you try, oh, I got it to load. If you try loading not from the spectators screen, but actually like you're joining a match for the day. If you click the watch tab, you should be able to load it from there.
Yeah, I was just trying that. We'll see if it lets
At
me
least
into
I
the
got it.
lobby. It'd be really strange for us to be able to watch 3 or 4 games today and then not be able to get in for the rest of it.
Oh, Ichigo took all of the internet, all the bandwidth with her.
That would be quite amusing. Well, Ichigo needs the bandwidth because she's playing her own games.
Oh, yep. That is true.
Better for her to be able to play her games than for us to be able to watch it.
We'll leave it up. Well, I think some viewers might disagree a little bit. I don't think they didn't just show up for us, but we'll see if we can get these loaded.
Yeah, I'm gonna try some more tech. While I do that though, what was your favorite moments from the tournament? Did you see any monster hands? What was the biggest hand that you saw?
Um, I I honestly I think one of my favorite moments was watching somebody who it was their first tournament and definitely was having a first tournament's go of it win the last Hanchan of the day. And for those who don't know, at the North Texas Open, they had these lovely centerpieces, center compasses at all the tables that marked the table number, as well as like had the name of the tournament and everything. And if you won the last Hanchan of the day, you got to take home that centerpiece. It was a 3D printed centerpiece. And this younger guy had a little bit of a rough go for most of the tournament. Um, just and despite my best efforts, because I really wanted to take that back home to our club, just snipes a first away from me and two very experienced players. Um, it was as a little as disappointing as it was to let that go. It was cool to see it to go to somebody like somebody in that position. Like he was so excited.
Oh, that's
And actually,
fantastic.
with that first secured very specifically the coveted second to last position, was able to climb up just a little bit, which meant he actually also got prizes from the prize pool as well. So
Yeah,
that
that's
was
a
probably
great. And I love the centerpieces are given away.
Oh no, absolutely. Kansas City, you mentioned the Midwest group earlier. Kansas City actually took home 2 of them. Both Justin and Jacob from the Kansas City club took home their respective centerpieces. So big shout out to them. They definitely put on a showing. Jacob, out of 2 of them, Jacob K, who's currently down in the C1 division, actually took in some Ara bucks for the first time in his Mahjong career. So congratulations to him on that as well.
Huge. All right. Well, I have found a workaround. It's just my browser doesn't like Mahjong all of the sudden, but it's okay. I have a backup. So in a few moments, I should be able to bring us the games. And speaking of the centerpieces, I think the man responsible for the centerpieces is going to be playing today. So hopefully we get to watch him. He also had an excellent run at the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure seeing him play. Definitely gave me a run for my money that over the weekend. Honestly, I really hope to see more of these tournaments. Maybe pick up that as a tradition or as a policy, because I remember they did that at Nomi, and I got to experience it here. I think it's a great way and a relatively inexpensive way to add just an extra element of excitement and goal chasing for the tournament. Because especially to be honest, playing this tournament, sometimes you get through the second day, you've done okay, but you're not really able to chase much after that. It still gives you like another fun reason to play and kind of finish out your day at the tournament that you came all that way for.
All right. I wonder how many people in chat were at the event.
Let's see. Let me pull up my Twitch stream again. Oh, I see Taka's in here. There's one for sure. Killer Ducky was definitely there. Oh, there. Yep. Hi, Taka. I see you. Goes me. Um. See. I think that's everyone that's at least has spoken up. But if you were there, feel free to let us know. I'd love to see how many people also want to hop in on Armel. That was another fun thing about that tournament, was getting to meet so many people that I've met through Armel and finally getting to put faces and names and see how much their play style actually translated to in person. And in some cases, yes, absolutely. They're just as dangerous in person as they are on Tenho. Oh,
All right. There's still a little bit of editing to do here, but we've got the game.
let's see. I'm not seeing it on the shared screen yet.
Yeah, just a moment. I think I've got the other one up. There we go. All right. Are we here? Do we have the game?
Let's see. So we're back in B1. I was stuck around a little bit for the first game here. Looks like we've got. Nope, sorry, it hasn't just updated on my end yet. This is.
Right. Looks like it's pretty okay on my end. We've got Joshua, Andrew, Caden, Barb. Joshua, our current dealer. Andrew on the right. Caden across the table. Barb on
Yeet.
our left, as we currently see it. We're not sitting behind the dealer, but let's just stick right here because
Don't.
Barb is going to Winnie
Just in
Potsu.
time.
Wow, sniped the pair cut. How about that? Unfortunate timing
What?
for Joshua.
Pick just the worst time to commit to that pair cut. Just probably assumed that somebody was mochi on those tiles, so just wanted to go ahead and shift away from it, but
7
just a collision at the intersection if there ever was one.
Oh, I see a wild Nogeska in the chat. It was I think we'll be chatting with later. It's had a really interesting haul from the event that I'm looking forward to hearing about. But an interesting call here as well from the dealer. Already went away from Tempai for an outside hand, the Chanta with Sanchoku and Adora. How's that for value?
Oh yeah, it's such an odd one to try to pull in this early. It feels wrong to be cheating a 7-8-9 on within the first couple discards, but uh, but I mean, if the value's there, you want to try to lock it in. You don't want to wait for those to fill. Interesting choice keeping either of the 7s here because you know you're probably not going to want to hold on to them. But never mind on keeping the 7s. It just caught up a little bit. So
Yeah, we're gonna be lagging for a little bit. All right, hopefully that will last us a while.
hopefully, let's see. And right now, if we are Barb, we're really hoping to see if we could reel in these 8s before we see them disappear. But thankfully, so far, we've only seen one 8 pin over across the way. So the 8s are pretty live here. So we're still hoping to find them as we go. We've got a
Incidentally,
guest. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe this is what you were going to as well. In terms of guests, Joshua seems to be a substitute player for this table, and so I wanted to give the opportunity to shout out those players that are not necessarily playing as a full-time member of the league, but as a substitute player. We really do value the time that you can share with us to make sure our games get to run all the way through, and hopefully you're enjoying the Armel season, maybe even planning to join on a more regular basis in the near future.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, a substitute helped me out at one of my games last night, which I especially appreciated because our games ran into almost 11 o'clock. So, and it made it to where I was able to do that, to play the games despite that. So, glad to have those people coming in for multiple reasons, both in how they help us out now and as future entrants into the league. Seeing a interesting Tempai over on the left here. We are technically no Yaku Tempai, but we might see a Suonko. We're definitely seeing a Suonko hedge here.
Yeah,
We do not care to just pull the 7.
Still looking for one more shape to complete. It has too many 2 pins. Maybe even, yeah, not gonna con here. Might con if they had the last draw, but or the second to last draw to prevent dealer from getting another draw, but that won't be the case here as no call has been made. So just a safety cut now to end the round. And that Song Trigger that looks so promising has 2 of the 8-so in the dead wall.
Oh, unfortunate. It's always a shame when half of it's hiding. You always assume, of course, that people kind of sniffed out what you were looking for and was able to draw it back, but sometimes it's the wall that doesn't want to deal into you.
You know what it feels like? It's like when you're on Mahjong Soul playing Sky High Ambition and going for 13-sided Kokushi, and you keep playing and playing and playing for it, and all 4 of your tiles are in the dead wall in the unused portion, so you never get the Tempai in your run ends.
Nope. I think it's a safe assumption on the Kokushis on that if you're as soon as you hedge for it, it's like a monkey paw curls, and you're not going to find them.
All right, well,
it knows what you want.
I wonder if Barb is going to find a monster hand here with the Green Dragon pair and a pair of Dora as well. Potential to shift even to a flush. I love this 1-so 2-so cut playing towards that idea. If you draw the South Wind, then you can absolutely think about a 1-color hand.
No, absolutely, and especially looking around the table, nobody's got a bad hand, but none of them seem to be fast enough to catch up to how this one's developing. So, and none of them seem to have the value to really to challenge it. So we're gonna see how these develop. I see Sanchoku for possibilities for Andrew across the way, but we've got a little more to dream here. Oh, pawn, and yet we are absolutely just full commit to the flush.
Yeah, this definitely seemed the direction that our
リーチ
dealer was aiming. But there's the Tempai. No Sancho needed here. Ricci door one. Ricci plus one good enough for Andrew. So it's also going to be a little bit hard to get the Sanchoku given that there were two sequences already completed that weren't the 5, 6, 7. And with
Oh,
Barb drawing one of the dealing tiles, this is tough.
yep, absolutely. That's always a tough one with wanting Pinzu with the Pinzu flush developing on the table. You're really hoping to pull it in. One left in the wall though, so we can still hunt for it, but it's a race against the clock with Barb's hand because Barb's not going to back off here.
Yeah,
But the other two players look like they're gonna back away. There's something building on the table. Do we have Khan? Oh, no Khan. We're gonna skip. We have the value we want already.
understandable. No need to add extra value to the Ricci when our hand is strong enough. And this is tough. Like, Barb has to jam two bad Mon tiles, but look at this. This is 12,000 points waiting to happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What's probably weighing on Barb's brain right now as well is you're already up. This is not a capital N needed hand, but it really is going to help you positionally and to just pad the rest of your game. If you can take this in, you can arguably coast.
The other thing to consider is that, the pin tiles aren't any safer than these Mon tiles, so you might as well push. And that's a temp I found. The last 6 pin as well for Joshua, so it's going to be Barb or bust. How live are the 4, 7 pin? All the 7 pin help. Oh, but there's the 4.
ドン
Oh, there's the 4. It comes out. And the Mongon pull in to pad Barb's lead.
Huge.
That really stratifies us going into the next round. And ooh, another decent starting hand for Barb. Wanting to fill out some shapes. This might be some Tanyao, but we're happy to see how this develops. Although it looks like Joshua's hand might develop a little faster. Might even be able to put this into some toy territory if we're ambitious enough.
Oh, never mind. Just fill that 1, 2, 3. It looks like we will just be playing for the Hatsu Call or a Ricci, waiting on the Huts in the near future.
Oh, always nice to pull in those nice Ricci waiting on dragons. Nobody ever really expects you to be that patient. Across the way, we have Chitoy possibilities, but we'll see how these shapes fill out. Not quite sure what we're going to do with that one yet. And then Caden on our left here, slowly putting stuff together, but still needs to clear out a little bit of honor tile soup. Barb pulling in some good tiles. Fred pulls a 1, 2, 3 together. Shifted away from Tanya.
Yeah, shape's still super awkward. So losing the 4th pair might mean that the escape valve that is Chitoy is no longer possible.
Well, that 3 is nice. Let's see. Go ahead and possibly have Ipeco shape for Caden. But we still possibly have a Tanyao hedge from Barb. It'd be nice to just pull in another cheap hand. Oh, but I think we've got the Chitoy commit across the way.
It certainly feels like that when the 4 Mon is coming out, setting up Suture Trap. But there's the Ricci. It is Joshua that gets there first. Ricci only, waiting on 6, 9 Mon.
Unfortunately, we couldn't pull in the value off the green dragon, one being held and one being walled. But since sometimes you just gotta slam, you want to try to pull in some points right now. It's still early when we need to try to equalize this before we get too far into the south round.
相撲
Oh, and there we go. So add sumo to the equation. We're not looking pretty nice. No ura, but the extra fu will make that a little more valuable.
Now we will get 2,000 points for that hand. And the Homba is really a nice addition as well. An extra 900 points in the Ricci stick back. So Joshua will head into the dealership here in South 1 with Adora and really interesting shapes.
Oh yeah, this hand is not sure what it wants to commit to. It's the shapes are too good to just try to say Chi-Toy or Toy, but they're just bad enough to you're wondering where your connectors are going to be.
Is it Chitoy?
Oh goodness.
No, rejected. We'll play maximum efficiency for a standard hand.
Cut the Aeon misshape. That's a good cut for standard efficiency. However, we have a lot of pairs dancing around, and it looks like Andrew's going to be building quick, having drawn Seat Wind already. Double south. It might even have a chance to reach this if he's patient enough.
In the meantime, Caden opening up across the way with the west. Yakuhai also getting the White Dragon as well. So, one away from Tempai.
We're hard committing away for that Pinzu shape across the way. We just want to pull in our points here. We don't need a ton of points if we're Caden right this second. Ooh, nice fill though. Oh, it's just straight slamming for Ricci, Bako, Dora 2. And all of them are in the wall currently, other than the one we're holding. So very live weight for this, for such an awkward weight.
I know it's said sometimes that when you have a weight of this quality, it's better to Dama. However, you have players that are opening up right and left. Applying the pressure with a Ricci could be valuable.
Ooh, that 5 does not look nice here.
Nothing looks nice. Kate will try the 8-mon. That will go through.
And we do have the possibility of seeing a double run here if that 8 pin comes loose from either Toyman or Kami, from Barb or Caden.
Oh, the Poland gives
but
the
then just
sumo.
small shift to Sumo. Oh.
This is huge. Ura? Missing.
Ura, no. That's okay.
That's totally fine.
4,000 all. Shifts right back up into the fight. What a way to start the South round and its second dealer round. Oh, goodness.
Is
Andrew over there with the hand just... Yes, I believe so. I don't know. With the hand like that, I don't know much else what you're going to do with it.
It's only 7 in a pair, so a bit of a weak start for it, but it is challenging to build.
That Chun Pawn would be bad, but it's one of the ones we thankfully got to start with. It looks like Andrew's going to at least hedge some somewhat normal shapes at the start in case this begins to fall apart. Very smart play for a Kokushi hand. A lot of people just start haplessly throwing tiles, but you want to at least have a backup plan.
Right, a lot of times that's a build a flush or build Chanto or build 7 pairs, but the 7-so doesn't fit, and Barb's already Tempai, so that'll be 1,000 points. Plus the Homba, not a whole lot that Andrew could have done after committing to the early so cuts.
No, absolutely. And that early as well. Like, you deal in that early, you just have to shrug and move on.
Yeah, especially when your dealership's coming up, right?
Oh, absolutely. If anything, as Joshua, I'd be a little more disappointed having to watch that dealership just come and go. But sometimes the disrespect for dealership is how you get the game moving along.
Yeah, or maybe especially if you're Barb. Maybe it's respect for the dealership that forces other players to call so quickly and cheapen their own hands to try to shut you down.
True. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, especially for Bar, you want to move the game along here because you're up, but people are definitely within grabbing distance of you. You want to try to see if you can lessen opportunities to come find you.
Well, Barb might be more up after this hand ends, drawing a lot of pin tiles.
That Sozu shape at the end is going to be the one complication, but we have the best Yaku.
What do we have here? Is this a guaranteed win for Andrew?
Oh, we will see. Everybody's hands certainly speeding up, and this is going to be Tanyo Sanshoku Dora 1. So a nice hand for dealer.
5,800. I have a funny 234 Sanchoku story. I always have 234 Sanchoku stories, but we were talking about the North Texas Open. In the finals, the first hand that I won in game 1 was indeed a 234 Sanchoku Mangan.
Oh wow, that is perfect. And of course, I'm sure everybody at the table they had to see that coming.
Yeah, it was actually a bit of a surprise when it came together. I had to cut the Aka 5-so to confirm it. And the funny thing is, the very next hand that I had was also 234 Sanshoku on the same Kanchan 3-mon weight until Jimmy conned the 3-mon to prevent me from confirming the win. It was tragedy.
Saw what happened last time, read ahead in the script, and said, nope, we're not doing this twice.
Exactly. Just as tragic as this Ricci. Oh, the 8-mon. One
Ooh.
of these has to deal in.
Wrong.
Turns
Oh,
out.
what a position. Oh, someone sent Tenho a bug report. The
Something's
Sancho
wrong. How did
didn't
it not win?
See, it's those lags earlier. Something's clearly wrong here.
Absolutely. Someone was messing with the Tenho code. That's
Yep.
why we couldn't get the game to load. Well, Caden with the 3-sided weight will get it honeypots as well. A big win. And I agree with Andrew to just fight there, but
Yeah, and for Andrew also, no matter even taking the Sanminchan shift was going to be punished. So was put in quite a position by that Ricci. Nothing you can do there. You have to fight.
Caden, with that win, will get over 30,000 points and hop into second place as well. With the dealership on top of that, could extend this further and make Barb sweat a bit.
Oh, absolutely. Looking to start that process now. Not a very big hand as a first for dealership, but enough to, if it's speedy enough, we can go ahead and take this down and move on. But however, it looks like Barb does not want to let this go lightly. Dora pair in the hand and already starting to call. So we're gonna have a toy chase down already. Tempai.
Yeah,
7-mon, 6-0. One left of each in the wall.
And this is a really interesting spot now. If Barb draws something like the 7-so, would you switch the weights to the stronger Diamen, cutting the 6-so Dora, or do you stick with the extra value and play the Shampoo weight? That could be a Mongon.
I think you absolutely go ahead and shift it. I think that if you don't need the value, it both strengthens the weight, and also if people do feel the need to fold against you, they're going to automatically cheapen their hand. They feel forced to cheapen their hand in order to get out of the situation.
All right, well, Andrew trying to do the Sanchoku run back. Could be 1, 2, 3. Could be 2, 3, 4. Wait and see what gets drawn.
A lot of options here. But here's another possibility for a shift. Keep the Dora pair, upgrade to the Riadman weight, and we're going to take it.
A very natural play. You're not really expecting to see the 6-0 come out for the Mongon. You don't necessarily need the Mongon value. So Barb will take the wider shape here and immediately rewarded.
Immediately rewarded.
Nice play.
Dora 2 also helps pad things going into all last. Now the goals have been lengthened. Yeah, especially with hoping to hold on to the dealership. We could run this ticker up further.
I've really liked the decision making from Barb so far in this game. You know, we missed a lot of the early portion of the game due to the Tenho issues, but from what we've seen, Barb is really deserving this first place post. Tempai, do we swap? Do we cut 1-2 pin?
Oh, I'm so tempted. I don't know if I want to reach a hand like this.
I love it.
Oh, and this bloated run shape here, it opens up so many possibilities. There's so many tiles you can draw to just improve this. And you're also possibly content if you end up finding the Haku to just let it be your pair. Oh, in the double shape. Oh, okay, we're gonna actually shift here from one shape to the other. Ah, I see what we're doing. I think we're hedging the Sanshoku as well.
Definitely Sanshoku on the brain. A 7-pin draw does connect to a Dora, so the 8-pin draw would be quite nice here. Oh, maybe he had planned to pair up the 2-pin. Gave up a turn too soon.
That's okay. We let those pass. However, it does look like we just want to shut down the game over on the left. Oh, and we are going to send it. 7-pin Haku, Shawa weight.
Not
plus
really
Ricci.
Expecting to see the 7-pin, but the Haku, that could come out.
Oh, absolutely. The 7 pins are just here to hang out. Like, oh, speaking of, see, we get together first. We got Toy Ishanten on the left. Huge value. Oh, but here it comes. Oh.
Yeah, and Andrew, one of the players that is more incentivized to fight, the Uda is going to be 7,700 now, and Barb continues to run up the score here, almost 60,000 points.
Oh, absolutely. And if can even is not too far off from shifting the UMA here, but that of course also is what Josh should be looking for here, just under 30,000. Operating as a sub, it doesn't matter too much, but you even starting out as a substitute, you want to start thinking about things like that as you play, because you'll have to once you get into the league.
That's a really excellent point. You're playing as if you were a long-standing member of the league, and of course, keeping in mind the 30,000 goal is excellent practice. Interesting choice now here. Eventually, it might become efficient to cut the 5-mon, but Barb will choose the penchant instead. See if Barb picked the right one.
Oh yeah, deceptively slow hand here. It's got some okay shapes, but it's got some awkward fills, and this guest pair win plus the other pairs. We're definitely gonna have to keep this closed.
Yes, that west pair is a great weight if you end up on it, but if all the west come out before you get that opportunity, it becomes a terrible weight.
No, absolutely. But holding that, actually drawing this as the
Eats.
dealer also gives some nice options for situations just like this. You now have tiles to back away with, and you can still fight later.
Okay, we're going to see a Ricci from Joshua. Not the greatest weight, but this will be enough to get him over 30k. Caden also Tempai on the left now. Can you drop 6-pin or 8-pin? Do you want to drop 6-pin or 8-pin?
Eat.
Sure, let's give it a go.
We're gonna
Let's
send
take
it.
Shabo.
The Suji trapped Shabo, and one in the wall each for both sides of that weight as well. So it's 3-mon versus 8-pin, 3-pin. All the 3-pins are seen though, so Joshua's in a rough spot here. See if we can find it.
Another player rough spot. Andrew kind of wants to fight for his hand, but also can't really fold. It's tough to fold against these Ricci's. Not a lot of information showing, so might just be forced to play for this hand.
No, absolutely. And it looks like Bar, of course, and this is where those Wests came into play. Absolutely just encouraged to just back off here. However, that 5-pin coming out also traps the other side of the Shabo weight. So if we start running out of safety tiles, this could get dangerous.
That's a great point, especially with the if the 9-pins start to come out as well.
Wrong.
Oh, and there it is. Ricci. No Ura, but gets to pull in the 2 sticks and pad a nice second place out of that.
In the end, though,
Barb
Barb
pulling in a
big win.
commanding first place.
Yeah, 42.9. Caden with plus 12 second. Joshua, a strong third place here, just barely under 30,000 points. Will be good for a minus 6.4. Andrew, a rougher go in this game. I think the big hit was that Ricci that got chased by the dealer for 12,000 points.
Oh yeah, just immediately. And the thing is that there's not even anything you can reflect on back there. Is that you made the right call, and the wall just had other plans. But you just kind of have to take those on the chin and move on. There's still a lot of season to go. But sometimes it doesn't make those swallowing in the moment any easier.
That's true. Well, we can continue dancing around the league. I have a match that I've been looking forward to taking a peek at. I believe they're just getting underway now.
Oh, here's some familiar faces. This is B3. I recognize a lot of these names. I just got done playing with a lot of these folks, including our commentator who we just got done talking to, Ichigo, as well as DJ Catnip, our artiste for the centerpieces. Oh wow, this is a very familiar cast. We got Luna and Michael as well.
Yeah, so I wanted to cast this table in particular because there are so many players from the tournament that we just attended.
Yeah, some might see this as a rematch from that tournament.
Indeed, Peter and Luna both participated in said event.
Let's see, starting off with Michael's dealership here. So nice, nice Tanya opportunities here. We really don't want to let that Dora go because of it. However, if we want to retain our dealership, we might have to make that choice. Nice Pinfu hand over there for Peter. We'll see how quickly we can pull that in. Looks like Ichigo's the only one who really has any strong calling opportunities with the Haku pair. And then across the way, we have another Pinfu Pasitanyao type hand. We just have to reel in a few more tiles to see where that one goes. And from Michael, it's like I said, really think about holding on to this Dora, and it's twice cut already, and we're already thinking at one point we're going to have to possibly get rid of it to maintain our dealership. However, if we can pull in the 3-mon, we're okay. Oh. Okay. Michael's going to go ahead and upgrade the weight here, possibly going to end up on the 8-mon Shavo. We're thinking about, do we want to go ahead and lock this in? This would be Tempai, and we're going to take it. Tempai for Tanyao, waiting on 3-mon. Just going to go ahead and try to aim for the dealer repeat, and immediately rewarded for the efficiency cut across the way. Drag in the 1500 and go ahead and repeat. And a much stronger starting hand for the second round. As nice completed shapes, already on a strong path. However, it looks like other players have gotten similar starts. We've got completed shapes already for Peter. Luna's got a very strong and callable hand, but the dangerous hand. Oh well, it's guest win pair. It looks like Ichigo could go ahead and try to shut this down quickly, not let the dealership continue. You know, you mentioned the mindset of a substitute earlier. I actually had a fun conversation about that at the Open, at the North Texas Open. It was actually one of the substitutes who I shared my second table with, and he'd had a very strong showing, and he kind of felt bad because those points aren't really for like any particular reason. They're not going anywhere. He's not playing in terms of any kind of like the same status as people. But the thing that came up in that is the fact that if you're a substitute, you want to offer a legitimate experience to other players, because if you kind of play softly as a substitute, it's also doing a disservice to the table, because you might as well just have an absentee player like drawing and discarding a dead hand.
Right.
Like part of this game is that everybody at the table's a threat, and those points aren't really going to the void. It's just as an individual player, they're either your points or they're not. The nuance of where they're going to doesn't matter too much until you get to those final tables.
Yeah, I think that's spot on.
We've got hands developing quickly here. Ichigo took a very messy hand and went ahead and pushed hard into the flush and is being rewarded for it. Meanwhile, Luna's just looking to go ahead and shut this one down, rejecting a completed shape for the Tanyao. Looks like might be able to put it back together here.
Yeah, locking the 5-pin is the pair, perhaps.
Yep, very, very good play there. Not our favorite Ishan 10, but we're going to go ahead and take it.
Now, if
Meanwhile,
I'm Dojima here, the dealer, I might be a little bit concerned about the fact that the 3 stills are coming out, and I might not get my Ipeiko. On the right, though, Peter already Tempai Dama here, and maybe concerned about the Hiri 10 of the 2 5-pin weight.
Oh, but then nice upgrade here for Tanyao as well. I think we're really just hoping to find it.
Yeah.
5-pin, however, we don't expect it to come out. However, what are our chances of drawing it, though?
Well, from Peter's perspective, there would be 3 in the wall. We can see there's only 1, and there's also a 2-pin.
Oh, and we are Tempai across the way. Tanyao, go ahead and shut this down. Oh, the 6-0 be coming out here.
It could very well could be, and it
Yep.
will.
ドン
Not many options there, and the so shape for Michael will pay out the 1300. Still nets 200 points on the dealership, so that's a win, right?
Oh, absolutely. You might as well just take it and move on. If anything, it helped pad the loss from that one. And then we move on to Peter's dealership as rewarded with in some patience with a very nice starting hand. Double East here. Very, very easy to just quickly call this and take a few Han and move on, especially with a little bit of Dora acceptance on the side.
Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna take this opportunity to welcome another commentator
Boom.
who offered his time this evening, and I really wanted to get for this game because Jeffrey was also at the tournament this past weekend. How's it going, Jeffrey?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. And yes, I was there. I had a great time.
Hey, good to see you again, Jeffrey. Welcome to the table. Oh, speaking of door acceptance, do we shift for this 1-2 shape?
Ooh,
How
that's
greedy are we
interesting.
feeling?
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay. Might pair it up. I see the thought. We could switch our pair out.
チ
it's a little tough for the pair up with it being twice cut. It
Oh,
looks
that's
like
true. That's true.
Luna's definitely got other plans that did not involve that Dora.
Yeah.
Wanted to go ahead and chuck it quickly. And
Well, we
hands
are
are
in
starting.
Tempai, so looks like it was the right call.
See if anybody thinks they can catch up here. This is double East is a perfectly fine hand to just go ahead and pull in and end this first dealership. Move on.
Yeah, won't be too upset over that.
Did either of you get the chance to play against Peter? I don't know if we mentioned this, but Peter is the person responsible for those beautiful centerpieces that y'all were able to take home.
I think that was one of the people I didn't play against.
I got the chance to play against him. He took a first at my table.
Oh, very nice. I think I remember him mentioning that first at your table. He was very proud of it. Let's see.
Now I don't remember playing Peter. I think I played both of you guys though, so that was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely fun to play you, Jeffrey. What about Luna? Did you play against Luna? She was also participating in the event.
No, I think that was one of the other people I didn't play against.
Oh no, you
so
missed it.
these
That's why you're here broadcasting. You
Yeah,
get to watch
exactly.
from a
Boom.
different perspective.
Right, dealer does get that double East, and we'll get the dealer repeat, so that's always good for dealer.
Notably,
And then
notably the 6-so came out, not the 3-so. I guess you'd feel a little bit regret about cutting the door shape if you would have won on the 3-so with the door shape. But since it was the 6, you know what? We'll take our 29 and run with it.
yeah, we made the right call, and then yeah, this dealer hand also is looking like it might just be a quick hand here.
Ooh,
Maybe even
rejects the
can turn it
first
into
time.
a half flush.
Yeah, Ty,
Yeah,
do you play this for the flush or do you just play this straightforward?
ポン
The tough sell on the flush. The 2-3-3 shape is complete enough. You're going to have to fish for whole new shapes here. Had it been, if it's scattered like Pinzu and Monzu, maybe. But one of the things you want to consider is the speed, and especially looking at some early discards from both Luna and Ichigo. I don't know if I believe that speed is here.
I think one of the things I noticed from Peter's play is that he does generally play for efficiency first. You know, if you're outspeeding your opponents to the hands, it doesn't matter if the value is a little bit less than it could be by being super greedy, as long as the opponents aren't winning at any hands, then you're definitely getting there.
No, absolutely. I had to go back and double check that it was him, but I shared a game with him the first afternoon alongside ARML's very own Edwin. Had a very fun time at that table. Talking about speed here, we eventually got to give up on this East, and yep,
Boom.
there it comes.
yeah, there goes the East. Then so
Beat.
now Oh, but we're gonna get a Ricci from the player on the left though. So now we've got a decision to make if we're gonna fight for this hand. I mean, we are dealer, but not a lot of value. So
Okay, I'm gonna back off for now with the Souths. The Ricci Pinfu hand isn't the most dangerous, but dealer here, definitely have a ways to go before this hand's ready.
yeah, but the Souths were safe, and then the 2 was just discarded, so we can get rid of our 2. We got a couple of tiles we can play with here and decide. Probably the other South here. Yep.
Interestingly, Luna over here, I don't know if I know Luna, so we might con this East. I think just trying to delay as long as possible whether or not we're going to have to con with it.
Holding it over the 3, so pushing a tile rather than playing out the safe east. So that really does signal that she likes the idea of calling this con.
Absolutely wants to, but has to get to that tempai first to justify it. No need to give the Ura if we're not close, but we're right there. We're either one call or one good draw away. But this 8-pin though,
Yeah.
롱.
You could justify it, and only 2,000 points with the Humba.
small hands so far. Still very close to even going into East 3 to Luna's dealership. Now this is a hand that Luna has that I think sometimes may like imply a flush. You're very heavy on honors and one suit, but you have to look at what I've heard called honor soup before. Like, is it really all that connected?
Yeah, it's not really all connected, and then everyone else kind of discarded a bunch of honors early, which makes you think, okay, everyone else also just has single honors as well. Yeah, it's not looking like I'm gonna get this half flush, so we'll play efficiently instead.
Yeah, the otter soup theory, I think, is a funny way of describing it. And it makes a lot of sense, right? You've got a bunch of honor tiles, but they're all singletons. And they really become valuable once you start to pair them up. But as other players discard singletons of those tiles, it becomes even more less likely that you pair them up. And efficiency says you're more likely to draw central tiles and other suits and connectors to those tiles than it is that you'll pair up a lone otter.
Right, and especially this early in the game, and your dealer, it's like, I'm happy just getting any hand as dealer, really. So I don't need to go for anything super crazy here. Let's just play efficiently. Makes a lot of sense.
홈.
And in exchange for possible Honitsu, we've played efficiently and might have ended up in some Sanshoku territory. None of the shapes are our favorites. However, we could hold on to this with just a few key draws.
Notably, 1-2-3 shape allows usage of the two Sodora.
That would be the dream draw, but well, I don't actually see any. Well, okay, there's one Tuso in the player on the right's hand, so actually, got a good shot at it here.
Ichigo.
Meanwhile, it looks like Peter's going to build as a decent Ishan 10. Could maybe even consider Sanshoku with the right draw. However, either way is probably going to end up in a very nice weight. Wonder from that position, if you want to try to pull in a little more value, if that first north comes out, how much do you consider maybe avoiding it?
Yeah, indeed, that first north has already been discarded by Luna, so the next
Oh,
one
I see.
will be the critical
Oh yeah,
one.
in that case, that you kind of have to take it. You don't want to. It's hard to skip value there. Oh, and speaking of the broadcaster summon.
You've
Yep.
spoken it into existence.
And as expected, we did pwn it, and
Taking a small tempai here. Wait, that is, let's get perfectly. Oop. Now here's an interesting call decision. Oh,
ooh,
we're gonna skip it.
did skip it.
Do not believe in the speed here on the called hand. Looks like we're instead considering if we want to retain our dealership, we have to go all symbols.
롱.
Don't need to consider that for long. Dojima Michael dropping the 9-pin rather. Simple 1,000 point hand, and scores remain relatively close here, so we're really looking for the big breakout hand.
Let's see, what are our chances here? Oh my goodness. Some
Okay,
very nice shapes going into East 4 for our dealer. This hand could go one of a few different directions. Possibly a lot of value here, especially with these Onkos and these nice shapes. Little awkward to get upgrades here. However, the upgrades could be very valuable. Speaking of Onkos, it also looks like Michael drew one of the 1-pins. Gonna force a little bit of value down out of this hand, but still has some Sanshoku possibilities, maybe even Ipeko. And then Luna might be going for it all here, or at least has some very aggressive early discards. Possibly hedging a Kokoshi here.
Yeah, it's 8, but with 2 pairs, so it's not amazing, but we could be just looking at, a half flush or a Chanta backup as well.
Oh, very telling discard there. Not quite that. Might be instead going for the flush. This still offers opportunities for the outside hand.
Right.
The
So
6-1 comes out here. We're gonna lock it in.
6-1.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Playing all the options. Well, let's see what we draw next.
Oh, interesting. Shifts. Ichigo here shifts the 3-mon Onko into a very bloated 2-3-4 shape. Making it technically a pair, but you have to find yet another one if you want it to be anything else.
I think one of the things Ichigo might be thinking about here is the fact that the player on the left looks like they're doing a so flush, so so tiles might be in high demand. Then you might not see them so easily, and also that 2-3-3 3-4 shape could turn into 2 sequences pretty easily. Just slim down from the 3s after drawing a 1-2 or 4 or 5 mon.
Oh, that is true. Keep your options open. We're only in the first row. I like that. That actually goes into one of two philosophies when you see a flush developing like this. Is do you hoard the same suit tiles so that way you don't feel pressured to get rid of them? Or do you chuck them early, that way you don't have to worry about them floating around later?
Yeah, I think some of that depends on the seat you're sitting in, because if you're sitting to the left of the flush player, and they can call chi on your discards, whereas if you're sitting to the right or across, then they can only call pon on your discards, so it's a little easier to drop them.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
And from the perspective of the other players, this flush hand now looks very, very suspect. With the 3-4, so including a Dora drop. However, we're still fishing for dragon tiles.
Yeah. You could read that as, okay, maybe it's not a half flush after all. Maybe it's just like a weird Chanta or something. Or it could just be maybe they are Tempai and the 3-4 just happened to come out because we sumo carried the 4, so.
Isabella seems to think that she has time to fight, jams the 6-0, and does barely have enough time to get that out.
They barely. Let's see. Either way, we're on a twice cut dragon Tonki here.
Yeah, white or red. Okay, we're going with the white.
Oh, and con possibility here, depending on how greedy we're feeling. There's already one on the table, but ooh, that is right. That Hatsu's completely live. It looks a little suspect going into the second row.
Honestly, if Ichigo had drawn the deal-in tile, she probably would have cut it, but the green dragon being not visible whatsoever, definitely very suspicious. Tempai on the right, though, for Michael, 7 pairs.
Oh, wrong Tonki.
Picked the wrong Tonki. What was that? Schrodinger's Tonki then? Whichever one that discard is the wrong one, right?
Yep. The wall has a sense of humor either way. Interestingly though, during that time, Peter more than happy to jam the 5-so into this. Does not believe that it's that scary, and is rewarded for that. I think, however, if that last Haku comes out, I think it's going to get discarded without much of a thought.
Yeah, it's just, is it in the dead wall or is it in the wall somewhere? I think at this point, we are going to Ricci on make
wow,
the
Ricci
4 come out.
immediately deals into the
Interesting.
Chitoi Nomi Dama.
Yeah.
Hold that hand down. Once again, low point exchanges here going all the way into the south round. This is still anybody's game.
It was tough to commit to a Ricci when there's so much value showing from the flush player, but that beat 2 Dora indicators in the Sozu. In the end, it will just be the cheap 1600 point hand to take it away.
Ooh, early decision making from Luna here. Once again, another flush-like hand to play with. Because
Ooh, a south. Yeah, we just throw the 1-mon. Yep.
I think you're talking about hands that could shake up the game. I think we're possibly looking at one across the way. However, Michael here definitely has the hand to beat, developing very nicely, even with Sanchoku opportunities. It's going to be a race here.
And typically in a race, the player going for the standard hand has the advantage.
That is true. However, at least Luna's draws have been kind to her up until this point. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, calling the 1-2-3. So we're going for the 1-2-3 Sanshoku then, huh?
Oh my goodness, there's the West.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've got a huge hand cooking across the way. We're at least going to get the flush out of this, possibly more.
Yep, we got our first drop. Unfortunately, though, no, the north has not been dropped yet. Okay, I misread something. Oh no, there is one north out. So there's one north left.
Look, the possibly more is very unlikely as long as Peter drops the safe tile that is the south.
Right.
Senpai for Michael, of course, no Yaku yet. Has that 4, is going to need to draw this 1 or shift the pair around in order to keep this Senpai with a Yaku. So, but that 1-mon's starting to look very scarce. 1 left in the wall now. Oh, but the Ricci chase.
Ricci
That is
4-7.
That is Ricci Nomi 4-7. The Haku pair is now safe there, so we're not going to see too many more honors come out. Oh, there's the north.
There's the north.
One's cut earlier.
Yeah, if that drops, we call it. Then what do we drop? Well, probably one of the. Probably the red dragon. Oh, no, doesn't matter.
Shuts everything down. Reach, Epot Sumo. Is this the biggest hand so far?
4,000 points.
Yep.
Look how close it is.
Monster half Mongon.
200 points separate first and third.
Ooh, yep. Well, tie for second, actually.
Yeah, we still have yet to see a Mongon hit.
And Luna's once again a small hand away from catching up to anybody. Just a little, just three Han to 4 Han value. 4 Han could obviously take her all the way to first.
And I mean, another kind of like maybe half flush. I mean, you got pretty good shapes though, so maybe not.
No, I think at this point you really want to try to pull in what points you can. Your dealership's coming up. There's just too many okay shapes to hold on to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now that I think about it, yeah, you've got a 3-4 Rion Min, and you have a pair, so maybe not. We'll just play the standard.
And Peter developing a hand nice and quickly here, hoping to possibly even pull in something for Sanchoku, but this hand may develop. Oh,
there it is.
Oh, good draw there.
Yep. Again, speaking into existence, can you say something about like the 8-so or the 5-mon real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. 8-so is twice at the wall, so we could see it. We could see it yet. Oh, but are we gonna call this? That hand is so far from ready, but we want to try to catch up here.
Yeah, I think.
Oh my goodness!
Wow,
you're spot on.
Oh, absolutely. And now we have the 5 in the wall. We're going to Dama this for now, see if we can snipe the 5. But I don't really think you skip the 8 here.
Dora feels a little sad. I think it's very standard to slam the Ricci here because you don't want to get the 8.
Oh no, the classic way to turn. It's the Ipatsu hedge. You know where it is in the wall.
Well, pull and break that Ipatsu.
Oh no.
The Ipatsu hedge or the I needed like a couple more seconds to think about it. Which is sometimes what happens to me, especially when you only got like 5 seconds to think. It's like, do I really want to do this? Well, I'll wait a turn and take another second to think about it. Yeah, I guess I will, Richie.
Yeah, the downside is when you accidentally sumo before you get a chance to reach, you're like, oh, you know what? I should reach after all. Oh, I guess I'm
Oops.
hitting the sumo button.
Absolutely had a moment like that at the actually one of my club mates, Liam, had that where realized he was Tenpai right after he discarded was, oh wait, I should reach you. This would be a great slam. And then of course on the subsequent draw just draws the tile. It's like, oh yeah, sumo +2.
Yeah, it happens.
Interesting
No.
enough, let's see, we've possibly got a toy chase from Michael, not wanting to let this go lightly. And we are still completely live in the wall. Nobody has drawn the deal and tile yet.
Yeah, since the Ricci, 5 left.
Sumo.
Oh, the cheap
Oh, there it is.
But you know what? This is why you Ricci, right? You don't feel so sad about winning a Mongon.
Right. Nope,
Well,
no,
almost Mongon.
we got the
And
Mongon anyway.
there's the first big swing of the game. We still take a hand like that. Put you in a much more commanding position.
Yep. Let's see. This dealer hand also not terrible.
No, and looks like it could get a little bit outsped, especially across the way. Ichigo though is definitely going to want to try to find some value here before getting too far. Looks like a lot of interesting pairs for Luna. We're not quite sure where we want this hand to go yet. And then Michael over there, I could dream Itsu if I just close my eyes and turn around, and maybe it'll be Itsu. But we need to try fishing for some value here. Now that Peter's done this, we can't just keep just getting the small hands if we can avoid it.
I mean, it depends on the wall. Sometimes the wall will just give you the 3 tiles you need, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's what I'm doing now.
Tough here because everything's connected for Michael except for the Dora, and yet he'll keep the Dora. I like this.
Yeah,
It's still early. The main reason to reject Dora in this situation, if your shapes are good enough that you're guaranteeing some other value or at least some speed. But if you're going to pick between the two at this point, it's early enough that you might as well just hedge the value. You're just one draw away and look for
rewarded. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, interesting cut on the 3 there, on the 2 there. Wonder what we're hedging here. We might definitely some Sanshoku action. Might just be thinking overblocked and picking that one to cut.
Yeah, you might be right
Gee.
because there's a couple 1-so and 4-so that have been discarded already. Might be saying that's just a weaker shape than a Yaman usually is.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's already several 1s and 4s out, so it's like that's our weakest Rionman shape, so we'll get rid of that now. Well, although we still have the Pinchon, but even then, it's like, either 4 tiles for the Pinchon or 4 tiles for the 2 1s and 2 4s that have already been cut. So
Interesting. I think the penchant here is a little deceptive because I think what that was, it was hedging what Sanshoku that we were going to find.
In the end, it does look like it will be the 6, 7, 8 play with maybe Tanya on top of it.
Still holding on to the 9 for now. However, talk about building some value. Ichigo has found it in a very chaotic starting hand, has pulled in an entire Anko of Chun and a West pair. This is a call away from Tenpai, but could also very easily reach this.
All right, I'm going to pose a question to y'all. You draw two mon or 5 mon into Tenpai. Are you taking the Diamond Ricci 3-6-so, or are you taking the Shoppo Ricci 4-so West?
West?
let's see.
リーチ
Oh, question right now. No question here. Instead draws the 3-so. The West is tough because it's where I'm sitting, I think, in my opinion.
Right. I was gonna say I'd probably take the 3-6 because West would be suspicious since I am the West player,
スモ
and it's
look
not
at
cut yet.
this.
Oh,
Oh.
perfect.
Before we get a chance to answer, Ricci, Ippat, Sumo, Chun.
That is
talk
our
about
first
value.
legitimate Mongon.
That Ichigo's no. This is how you build value in a hand. Just Ippat, Sumo.
The second time we've seen Ippatsumo.
All right,
from
moving into
Ichigo.
South 3. We just need, all right, dealer. I mean, Dealer can get a Mongon here. We're right back in it, so it's not time to give up yet.
Not in the slightest.
Does not have a very good hand to start with, though, so we're going to need the wall to give us a little help here.
Another West pair for our West player, this time being Michael. In a close-ish position, go in third. Has a chance to catch up, but doesn't want to fall too far behind here. As it's not like Luna can't catch up with a couple of dealerships.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ichigo here is already one away from Tenpai, so...
However, there is a potential monster building over Peter's hand. That could be... Definitely has 2 Dora, which is callable, as well as the possibilities of Ipeco.
Oh,
Oh
how
my
south.
goodness.
right. Oh my.
Yeah, okay.
And what do you do here?
Something like the Onso is a pretty natural cut, but if you like the Nobuton shape, you might even cut from the Mon shape. But yeah, Onso is natural.
Nope. Not a bad cut there at all.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking what Nathaniel was. It's like, you could try to cut from the Manzu and go for a little more, but the one definitely not going to complain about the one, so cut.
The problem is that
All
Mon shape
right.
is so callable that it's hard to just give that chance up, and this will be Mongon Tenpai or Peter.
Yep. These sleeper Mongons are always how people get because the value's not visible on the table. And right now, you're not quite thinking about where all those south tiles are. Once you start getting into the second row, you might start contemplating it. Uh-oh.
All right. Dealer drew a second 6, though, but this might be Chitoi now, so...
This is
might end up-
Chitori, at the very least, trying to make the hand more callable to get the repeat. Oh, and rewarded. However, that might... Ooh, rejects it. Interesting.
Doesn't like the look of... All right. So now, which one are we going to wait on? 4-pin, probably?
No, 4 pins twice cut, so...
I mean, no, 4 pins twice cut. That's what I meant. I meant discard the 4-pin.
Yes. All right. Do we believe in half Suji here for Richi Tanyao Chitoi as the dealer?
It might be a little bit stronger than just half Suji because of the 2 Monka from... Oh, the 6 Mon! Wow.
And trips right into the Mongon. We started complaining about there not being cheap hands, and the wall said, "You know what? I'll show you cheap hands."
That was the last tile of the wait, and she already had a pair. What are the odds?
Oh, now we've got Stratify going into South 4. What a last deal in. When this happens early, you can recover. When it happens late, now you got to start doing math. What can we do to get back here? And Ichigo's got the dealership within 8K of Peter here, but Peter's looking to call quick and get this shut down.
Yeah, Peter just wants this game to be over at this point. Ooh, dealer's got Dora 2.
Yep, Dora 2, and if we can call the right shapes, we can even keep this. We can even open this.
I mean, we're in Tanya, so I don't see why you wouldn't.
It's just that 9 would be a little awkward to use.
That's true.
Peter does not fear the possibility of anybody else getting to Tenpai. Wants to shut this down quickly and aggressively.
Yeah, I just want my first place bonus points. Thank you very much.
All the way down to a Tonki. Tonki.
Remon Tonki.
Uh-oh.
Well,
no, that fits in the hand.
That's going to stay in the hand. So but there's still 2 in the wall here.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Chitoi Tenpai on the 9, which is also twice in the wall. So now we've got dueling Tonki weights.
Yeah, depending on who deals into that could shake up the standings quite a bit.
Oh, got a chance to swap here, but does not take it.
This is such a funny spot for Peter. It's really easy. It's 50-50. You pick one or you pick the other.
You don't even have to think about deal-in possibilities here. It's all 50-50. You either deal in or you don't.
Exactly.
There's Tenpai.
Ooh, the 5. Yeah, absolutely.
straight slam.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
8 might be
what
safer
feels
than the
worse here?
3, but the 3 comes
Oh.
out.
all right, all right.
Against
Reach.
all discard judgment and
All
another
right,
chase.
and then another Ricci. So
Whoa!
we got Ricci roulette, but there's the 9.
Everyone,
And
Tempai, the Hanukkah Tonkin
and,
player safe.
Oh,
and
that's gonna.
Peter allowed to breathe out again. The
That 8 pin
stickiest
keep.
situation I've seen on this broadcast in a while, and is able to avoid the deal-ins. And
Yep. And that swaps second and third,
Oh.
and leaves only one person below 30K as well.
Yeah, I think Ichigo still remains in second place, but Dojima
Oh no,
Michael gets
yeah, I was
over
1,000 off.
30K as you were saying, and that will leave Luna the only player below. Wow, I wonder what Peter was reading to keep that 8 pin.
Wow, that was a hand. That was an exciting
That-
hand.
see that is what commentary. We're saving all the excitement for the end. They said,
Exactly.
you know what? We're just gonna coast till we get to the south round, and we're gonna build some stakes before we before really start fighting each other.
I mean, that kind of sounds like my last hand at the tournament. That was probably the best hand, or what, the funniest hand that I had all a tournament, and it was really fun. When the opponent cons into cons and then flips over the Dora, and then that's now Dora, and it's like, oh, okay, they just conned for Dora, okay. And then they con again for another Dora tile, and then somehow you get to Tempai, and you're like, do I really reach you when this guy's showing like 4 Dora and half flush? It's the last hand of the tournament. Why not? We'll just go for it.
By the
It ended
way,
up working out too. Got a Baimon out of it. It was with 6 Dora tiles. I ended up flipping a lot of Dora. Got a Baimon out of it. It was like, well, that was fun.
by the way, Jeffrey, is this a you I see at the top of the standings?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but apparently I've been playing really well in online. I was kind of telling my friend that the other day. My online luck and my in-person luck tend to go in opposites. So that's why when I was going to this tournament, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do very well in the tournament. And it turns out I was right, but I am doing first in B3 right now, so
Well
I've
done.
got that going for me.
Oh,
Well,
that's
I'm actually going to swap out here. Unless you want to call back here a little later. I'm gonna let Jeffrey here
all right.
take a seat. So thank you for having me this evening. Y'all enjoy this. This is it's an A1 game.
Yeah, actually, I've got a couple of games to hop to. We might come back to this table, but I did want to pick up a couple A1 games just to make sure that we dance around all the way through the league.
Well, y'all have fun. I'll probably be in the comments as I work on some stuff. But y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all next time.
All right, very
All right,
good.
sounds good.
All right, and as mentioned, I do have a couple A1 games in progress. This one that I'm about to turn to is actually almost over, but I wanted to display this one for a very special reason.
Oh, is that the J that was at the tournament?
Jay, yes, indeed, what played in the tournament. Always helped with the pairings as well for the Zamba League and everything else. Always fantastic. Play with Jay, Kevin on the right, Lucas across the table, and Brian on the left. And I want to draw your attention to the left. Brian, this 2350 rated player with a 10 Don ranking. Brian,
I'm assuming-
super huge congratulations. As far as we know, the first player in the West to reach 10 Dawn.
Oh, okay. Well, that is big. I was gonna say I'm not up with the nomenclature on what that means, but I'm assuming that's a good thing. And yeah,
There is only one rank on higher, one rank on Tenho that is higher than 10 Dawn, and that is Tenhui, the legendary players. And Brian is, well, the closest that anyone from the West has gotten to that mark. So huge shout out, a monster accomplishment. And every time Brian gets a rank up, I immediately start playing ranked Tenho because I want to get there too. Huge inspiration. And well, it seems like this game is going in the favor of Kevin and Lucas. And it's
Yeah, as I say, it looks like Jay is in a bit of a hole right now, but does have a dealership to try to catch up and does have door 2 in hand. So that's a good start. We just need a connecting tile here to get into Tempai here. Whether that's the 3-pin or the 8-mon or the 6-mon.
1
However, it looks like I think that's Lucas across the way.
yes.
It's just going to try to shut this down with a cheap Tanyao here, which is fine because we're in first, so we're happy just to advance the game state along.
Yeah, unlikely that Lucas is going to be able to build more value out of his hand, so better to just maintain the lead going into all last. Looking around at the table, Kevin with a good opportunity. Oh, but Brian, nice contract
7.
fill.
Yeah, say 7. So that's a big draw. What do we drop here? Gonna go with the 6-pin.
Preemptively cutting
And
the
then-
6-pin, you lose a little bit of efficiency this way, but Brian values the safe entry here.
Then we drew the 4-mon, but that doesn't really advance our dealer hand, so we're gonna let that go. Oh, we did get the 7. Okay. So
Each.
that's a 3-sided weight. I don't see why you don't slam that.
Yeah, there was a small chance that Brian could also draw into 5-6-7 Sanchoku by holding onto the 8-so pair. You draw the 5-so first and cut the 8-pin, but now that we're in this 3-sided weight, it looks like we're just going to slam and see what comes our way.
Yeah, 1, 4, 7. Only, and you see 2 1s and 1 4 cut, so a lot of live tiles. Of course, you figure some of them have to be in somebody's hand, but
Oh,
still got a good shot. Ooh, there's a loose one, but it's gonna hang on to it for now.
yeah, Kevin doesn't need to play any of these dangerous mon tiles. Only one of the 1-mon left in the wall and one of the 4-mon.
It looks like Jay is just gonna fold now.
Which is tough. Jay really wanted to fight here with the door 2 and the dealership.
Yeah, sure did, but
Oh,
it's a
Dora
little tough to
3.
push the. Oh well. But wants to not be in a worse hole. I can understand. Oh, we drew another 1-mon. All right, so our weight is drying up quite quickly here.
Yeah, there's no more draws left, so Brian will not win this hand. But we'll get over 30,000 points after collecting 1,000 from each of the no 10 players, and that will move us to all last.
Yeah, all last we got just enough points to stay above to get above 30,000. So, but it still makes the last hand a little awkward because any sumo brings you back down under. Okay, well we got 4 reds, but we kind of want more value than just 1,000 points. I mean, it would keep us above 30,000, but are we really happy with just third? I mean, we would need 10,000 to move up, so maybe we are okay with just staying above 30. Kind of tough call either way, actually.
Yeah, it is possible to overcome the dealer without too dramatic of a hand, but to also surpass Lucas would almost require a Hanuman direct. So maybe Brian can build a hand. It's kind of working its way there now with the south pair. You can draw a few Dora.
Might be able to either draw a couple Dora or go half flush if we keep drawing pins. We might be able to squeeze a bit more value out of it. But everyone's kind of got a lot of pins, so that may not work out.
Creeps coming together, door will come out. Just maximum efficiency here for Brian.
Ooh, 6-0. That's a big draw there. Fill in that pinch on. Get rid of a loose honor. Ooh, another good draw there.
リーチ
Oh,
And but dealer's got it. So that's gonna be a 4-7 weight. Yep, 4-7.
in the Sozu, yeah, huge Kanchan fail. So Kevin will get Pinhu and Ipeko alongside this Ricci.
Yeah, 3 sevens and 2 4s. Not the best two-sided weight ever. Of course, we don't know that. It looks fresh to us as the dealer, but question is who's gonna draw the 4s and 7s? Because it might come out if it goes in the wrong hand.
Yeah, and notably, Lucas has some incentive to try to play for this hand if he can trust the 3-pin coming out. Similarly, Brian would like to win this hand if he could trust the 1-pin to pass safely. The only pin tile that's been discarded is the Ricci 5-pin. That's always a little suspicious.
Oh, what do we discard here?
Lucas definitely does not want to deal in here, and the 3-pin's really suspicious with the 5-pin Ricci.
Yeah, just this goes with the white dragon. 9-so. We can drop the 9-so. That's fine.
Wow, more.
Nope.
Nothing but 3-6-9 so from Kevin here.
Okay, there's a 4, but that's not going to be coming out. So 1-7, 1-4 left somewhere.
Oh, another triplet for Lucas, so there might be a chance at finding a tempai here. The 6-mon could come through if Lucas gets to call the 7-mon. Oh, but that's the death of this hand. You cannot drop 6-pin, surely.
6-pin, 3-pin. Yeah, pretty scary. All right, yeah, 6 comes out.
Lucas has to get one more through. 9-pin's also bad. What do you cut? Is it the 6-mon? The 7! Oh, it's gonna be the one chance dealing. And this is gonna be a big swing. Ricci, Pifu, Ipeko, even without the Uda, that's gonna change placement.
Yep. That'll change the placement, but dealer did win, so we get a chance to maybe reverse that.
That's right. There's still one more chance with a repeat.
That hand, not the worst. Doesn't have a lot of value. We can get the Dora. That'll help. But the dealer also has Dora and a pretty nice hand. We could just end up with another dealer repeat here, actually.
By the way, Ichigo in the chat saying that we've cursed them. Now every hand is Mongon. We might have to go back to that game.
Yeah, dealer, as long as we can get our 8-pin. Oh, no, we're going to. Okay. The 1-mon draw, we're going to drop away from the 7-9.
The thing is, at this table in particular, everyone is just so efficient that it's tough to greed the Dora for too long if it's in a bad shape.
Right. I mean, that's a thing I've taught some of my friends when teaching them mahjong. Is it's like, look, if it doesn't fit in your hand, and you have a door, and you're just like, I don't want to wait on that as my pair, and it doesn't fit in my hand, just get rid of it early and hope that nobody calls it. It's the best time to get rid of it. If you hold on to it too long, then you basically can't get rid of it. You have to keep it in your hand.
Yes, similarly, Brian also foregoing the Dora. Ishanten, one away from Tempai. See.
Oh, 6-so, huh? Just swapping tiles around a bit.
Yeah, I was wondering between the 6-mon and the 9-mon, which one would get cut. 9-mon is the cut that moves in the direction of Tanya, but 6-mon leaves you with maybe a 5-6-7 Sanjiku chance. But Tempai found, so will be Tuso Dama.
No, we're gonna go with the 5.
Yep, cutting two. So waiting on that Conchon 5. Only one remains in the wall. In the meantime, dealer. It's approaching template.
Is there a world where we'd want to Ricci this? Probably not.
The weight's kind of bad, and we're likely to get chased by Lucas at the very least.
I was just trying to think of, because the extra value might help us switch positions, but
If we get the direct hit, maybe, or like Ipot Tsumo Ura or Tsumo and Ura 2. Now this is interesting. 5-8 now.
yeah, that makes sense.
ド
And
ン
the 8 comes out.
All right, so if you just shut it down, only 1,000 with the bonus Homba will confirm third place. Positive score for Brian. Kevin, though, the big winner, 33.9 in first place. Lucas grabs second place, 14.3. Jay will take the fourth. We missed most of this game, but happy to watch the newly minted Tendon in action here in the American Ricci Mahjong League. All right, and I've been eagerly watching these totals. Barry is actually playing as we speak, the league leader at 141.6, still fourthless. No one's been able to hand him a last place finish. I tried earlier this season, I couldn't do it. It looks like that game may have ended, or they may have finished on 3 games. There might still be one left to play. Also, the other A1 table looks to have completed as well. That was the one with David and Korak, among others. So standings starting to solidify here at the end of round 4 in the A1 division.
It looks like maybe that table we just watched started another one.
You're right. Is that... Wait, does that make sense? It looks like they have hit... Oh, yeah, maybe they do have one more. I'm always down to watch more of this table.
Yeah, that seemed like it'd be a good table to watch.
All right, let's do it. It's kind of crazy that at this table, a 7 Dan, an 8 Dan, a 10 Dan, and a Psychoisin Pro. Psychoisin USA Pro. It is no small feat to be able to win any of these games.
Yeah, that was one of the big things in the in-person tournament, seeing so many people that I knew were really good players, and then sitting down at the table and just being like, okay, well, how's this gonna go? And then you get to playing, and everyone just is just chugging along, and you're like, oh, okay, actually, this isn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little intimidating when they walk in and they're wearing, there are a few players that brought their WRC jersey that traveled to Japan.
Yeah, the WRC
represented the US
jerseys.
there. There was the like team jerseys. Those are always fun. There were shirts provided by the venue for the tournament itself. Those were awesome to see. A lot of people wearing those for the group photo at the end of the tournament. But when you sit down at the table, it's just mahjong, right? It's the players are playing the same game. It's just like playing
Exactly.
them online.
Or even like my friend, who it was his first tournament ever. He was like really nervous, and He was like, I just don't want to look like a fool in front of everybody and Trombo a bunch of times. But then,
Kang.
like, towards the end of the second day, he was like, actually, I think I did a pretty good job, and like a lot of people were Tromboing, so I don't feel so bad. And I was like, yeah, like nothing to be worried about. We're all just here to have fun, play some mahjong. And speaking of
Absolutely.
mahjong, we got some content going on here, dealer, with the Double South Con.
Double East, yeah, not afraid to create some additional value. And, well, Jay's taking advantage. Already Tempai. Oh, and gets another Dora and a better weight. So how about this? Yakuhai Dora 2 with Chanta potential on the Wenmon for the Mongon.
Can we draw the tile we need?
It's live. There are 3 in the wall. Not to mention a couple Formon as well. With the 3 Han hand.
I mean, we definitely take the 4, but we would really like the 1.
Such a huge upgrade. Doubles the value of the hand. In the meantime,
Not yet.
dealer Ishunten might even just 7-pin here.
Yeah, 7-pin, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
And this plays for the 3-mon Tonki, not willing to drop the Dora against Jay's hand.
For pin. Yeah, it's been dropped recently. We're fine with that.
And notably that 5-pin came out earlier, so Hudi 10 on the upgrade. Also, 1-pin suspiciously absent from this board. A board that is...
Yeah, 1.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's a sumo. And it's the 1.
That is absolutely the hand Jay was looking for.
Oh, yeah. That's a great start.
I love how this is bolded. Screams, look at me.
All right, East 2 and dealer hand. I mean, we have the green pair, but the rest of the hand needs some work.
Korak mentions something like 11 first row Richis. Yeah, that's my experience playing against David as well. The man knows how to first row Richi. I've always had rough series against David. Not surprised to see him in A1.
Boom.
Wow, yeah, 11 hands with the first row Richi. Wow, yeah, that's something.
Another early call here from Lucas this time. Red Dragon.
Oh, okay, we drew the 3rd green dragon. So we don't even have to show that we have it. We can maybe try to play this on the back burner. Ooh, another so tile.
Yeah, the question is, at what point do we commit to a flush? I don't think that's the plan because our floating tiles are so good in the other suits, but like what tiles would move us that direction? The 8 so, it's kind of doing it. Maybe you
Ooh.
9 so first.
Maybe? Or do we drop? Okay, we drop the 1.
Just gonna play the efficient route.
Yeah. I mean, if it's gonna keep giving us if it's gonna do that, I mean,
We are still
eventually-
teetering on the edge. The problem is the 9 so's come out so much. Oh, and there's that quick
Dong.
3-sided wait for Lucas. The Shun Dora 1 to shut the hand down, and so it's just Jay and Lucas so far with the wins.
Yep. But now we get a shot at dealership here. This hand also not very good.
Yeah, this is rough. You know what can solve that? Green Dragon.
Green Dragon would
Boom.
would make the would make me want to actually play this hand and not just fold at the first opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's the idea actually for a big part of Mahjong is just like, how much is my hand going to be how much is going to be worth it for me to play my hand versus the risk of dealing into somebody else's hand. And if your hand's not very good, then a lot of times players will look for greedy draws because it'll give them a reason to play the hand. And if they don't get the greedy draws, then they just fold.
Yeah, I mean, we are dealers, so that's already one reason to try to play the hand if we can. And we finally started getting a few decent tiles here, so maybe we can maneuver ourselves into something good here.
Nice pinch
Ooh, a
on kill.
7, okay. Drop Red Dragon, absolutely.
Boom.
Ooh, yep, there's another good tile. Do we get rid of the 6-8? 6-8 pin?
Not even just two, so
2 so, okay.
plan is the thought here is that we can't really drop the Dora at this point because Brian is showing a flush. Well, not sufficient to do so, but you might see the 6-8 as your.
Yeah, I would say I still go 6-8, I think. Yep, there it is.
So we're gonna play for the Dora. Hopefully draw it and wait 3-6 so.
That would be ideal.
But if you draw a Mon tile at this point, it's gonna be a little scary. No overflow yet from Brian, but when he drops something like this tune, then you start to sweat a little bit.
Yeah. 6 pin's fine.
Tempai for Jay might cut the 1 Mon, but no Ricci here because the weight is bad and it's waiting in the same suit as the flush.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, if he draws the 3 Mon, I suspect we could see a Ricci just because Jay is in a position this season where he needs the value.
Okay, 7 so. South. South is once cut. But we know that 8 so is fine. 8 pin is fine.
That's not
Ooh,
much
5
better.
Mon. Yeah. We are going to change.
Now, Lucas has to decide. 2 Mon should still be safe. It came out, and there's no Tadashi from Brian, I believe.
Yeah, 2 Mon. Or the once cut south might still be alright.
Yeah, I
But
think
we
Lucas
definitely
just can't drop the South or the Green Dragon at this point, so.
I mean, yeah, we definitely can't drop the green. Ooh, the 5 so.
Brian might be considering cutting a Mon tile just to make it look like he's Tempai and force people away.
Ooh, okay, south, yeah.
The other thing you have to be concerned about is maybe that Jay has been pushing Mon tiles against your very obvious Mongon hand. So if someone's willing to jam tiles against you, what do they have? Now 4-7 Mon weight might be good here. Yeah, we'll see the Ricci from Jay.
Yeah, 4-7 doesn't have a lot of time to draw it, but oh, somebody else can draw it and drop it into you.
Lucas will certainly try to fold here. Maybe 5 so is okay. South is also 3 times visible now.
Yeah, 5 so probably, yeah. Oh no, south pair. Right, because we have 2 in hand. Right.
Tempai, but you have to drop Dora. And what? We're allowed to do that? That's a legal play?
Didn't even hesitate.
No, okay. I guess this is how you become Tendon. Absolutely no fear.
Yeah, but hey, it made it easy for the dealer. It was like, all right, cool, I'll just drop mine too. I don't got to worry about what I'm going to drop for last.
That is.
And then we had 2 people in Tempai, and then we swap over to East 4. So now Jay gets his first dealership. And has a pretty quick hand here. We just need the Green Dragon for the Yaku, or of course, just draw into Ricci also works as well.
Jay might go greedy, or sorry, Kevin rather might go greedy. We'll start with the East. Once cut. Now twice cuts, so feeling like you made the right decision.
Ooh, yeah, south for sure.
There are thoughts of Sanchoku, I guess.
Boom.
Yep, and we just take the green dragon. Then, yeah, let's see. How far away are we?
Merely one tile now.
Yeah, hoping to draw our pair so we don't have to choose.
Or 3-pin. Twice held by Kevin. I'm intrigued by that hand. I want to know how committed we are to this upper so shape.
Right. Can we, well, let's see what we draw here. Well, that's not what we want.
Ah, there it goes. Okay. So Ipeko with potential flush backup.
Chi.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, and that's the play for Brian. It's going to be a Chanta. Chanta Yakuhai Dora.
Yep, we're waiting on the 3-pin. All 3 pins are in hand, though. And unlikely to come out because it is Dora.
Jay did get the ideal pair up, so he has the Yaman Way 2-pin, 5-pin. Green Jack and Dora 1. Again, another weight that is around the door, so tough to see. In fact, there's only 2 tiles left in the wall for this. Lucas correctly susses out that he is just way too far behind in this hand. He just needs to fold.
Yeah. Yep. No reason to swap here.
A small little point there for Jay, cutting the 6-mon instead of the 9-mon, because he could probably sense that Brian is building an outside hand due to the early discards. And
Yeah, there's
slightly more dangerous.
Yeah, and there's no value to gain by swapping either, so unless you also draw, yeah, no, there's no reason to drop the 9 over the 6. Ooh, another Pinzu on the right.
And hand in a weird spot to find Tempai. It needs that 6-mon.
Yeah, wants to get to Tenpai to at least try to get some points out of it, but is not getting the draw we need.
Lucas drew the 6-mon. And
7.
no dice for Kevin.
Yep. Then one more for, well, we know it's all 3s are gone, so
Yeah,
it's
just
not going to be Hote.
just the question of whether the 5-pin would be drawn in Delton, but not the case. 2 players sent by Jay the dealer. Importantly, will retain said dealership. 1 reach 6 in the middle, 2 Homba now, and this is super promising.
Yeah, there we go. That's a much better start.
The right, just random assortment of tiles, not nearly as strong as the dealer's hand. Across the way, maybe a Tanyao for
Yeah, we
Brian.
just drew a second Dora too, so we're like, I'd really like to play this hand.
Yeah, it's challenged. Lucas looking really good on the left already, Shanten.
Yep, just looking to hopefully grab a 1 or a
Each.
4. But we get the 6 instead, so we're gonna wait on the 1/4.
Yep, Lucas, of course, holding that 6-mon just in case you draw the door connector. You got a nice shape to accompany it. But upon drawing tempo, we just slam that Ricci Pain Tree, try to collect those sticks and get back over 30k.
Yep, the extra sticks are always nice.
Pressure now on Jay to make something happen.
Yeah, kind of slowed down with some just loose honor draws. And now has to fight the Ricci player. But luckily we do have some safe tiles, so we can try to fight for a little bit.
And more tiles are becoming safe. The 5-pin clears. He really needs to draw lower Mon tiles to connect. Or risk the 3.
Yeah, do we risk the 3? It is Suji. Alright, we did risk the 3. Mon.
Yeah, not just Suji, but Reach Tile Suji. Although it's a little weaker as a trap, because if you had 2, 4, 6 Mon, a lot of times you would choose to wait on the Dora, so you never backfire on it. That's maybe another reason to set the trap on the 3 Mon, given that that's the case.
West. Ooh, there's a 1. Not gonna come out yet.
Jay has a path to Tempai. He just needs Lucas to draw something that helps him.
Right. Four pin.
Ryan,
the
Tempai
8-pin
now.
8-pin drop's not as scary as it was with the 4-pin now.
Gee.
Okay. Play out the 9, because that's for sure safe.
By calling that she, he avoided drawing the Dylan tile. And gets
Oh.
Tempai. Can you play the 3?
Can we play the
No.
3? Nope. It's not going to play the 3. He's going to play the 8 instead.
Has another chance to draw a connector to the Riso, or somehow find an 8-so.
Reach.
Ricci, what? 3-6 Mon, Ricci, Dora, just yeeting the Dora into the void. Nakasuji. We'll see the calls
Interesting.
that Brian doesn't have to draw a tile. And
Sumo.
finds the Sumo. What in the world? Tanya Dora 2 for Brian. Of course, the call also gives him an extra Dora, so that's nice additional value.
I was almost like, for a second I was like, wait, isn't that Ipeko? But no, he had a call, so no Ipeko.
All right, we are seeing some fancy moves in this game. Kevin will be the
Home.
dealer, calling the north, and maybe if he draws something in the Pinzu, can work his way to a flush. Worst
Yeah,
case, it
no-
just turns into 1500.
Yeah, no hesitation on the North call. Knew what the plan was.
The early 1-pin cut, you're not really expecting it to be a pin flush, but there is a path back.
Yeah, 1 pin too far away from our other pins for us to make use of, so we'll throw it early as a... Yeah, it's definitely not a flush. Don't worry about it, sort of.
Yeah, by cutting 4 Mon, 3 Mon rather, it's really selling this to be a Sozu Honitsu, which would be the door suit flush.
Yeah, the 664 is... Oh, and another 6 now.
Well, you look at this and you're like, I could be Tempai.
If only I had X-ray vision.
There it is,
Ooh,
another
4
pin
pin.
tile.
There we go. All right.
Now, I want to look at this from Brian's perspective. Like, at what point does he start to cut these honor tiles? Because it's clear that Kevin is doing something suspicious. And maybe with this lead, Brian just
Ooh, yeah.
says, you're never going to see the honor tile you want from me. I might be killing my own hand, but I don't need to win. I already have the lead.
Yeah. That's okay though. We don't need the red dragon to finish this hand. So
Yeah, template from Jay. He really thought about this because he wants to do better than just Riichi Pichu. He had a chance at Itsu that uses the Dora. The problem is, in order to get there, he had to cut 7-pin, 8-pin, and it's very likely those tiles get called. So instead, slams the
oh,
Riichi
you made the right
stone.
choice.
Ipatsumo, extremely rewarded. How about Uda? Just the 1326, but Jay feeling good about that decision.
Yep. Ipatsu, Riichi, Ipatsu, pick up the extra in the middle. Feeling good. And we're moving into South 2. Oh, and dealer hand 3 pairs? Okay, well now 2 pairs and a triplet. And then across the another couple of pairs on the right.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any hand that I want to play. I don't want any of these hands. Just throw them all back.
I mean, the dealer hand probably is the best, but yeah, it's still
Shapes
awkward.
are weak. Jay,
Yeah.
maybe Jay's got the best hand here. He's got realistic shapes.
Well, yeah, that's true. Jay, yeah, especially after those last 2 draws, is in fairly good shape now.
Yeah, and this is where we get to see the hand construction at play. All these players, very strong efficiency. They'll be able to build something out of nothing.
Oh, 6, perfect. So what do we get rid of now? The 7-9?
That sounds good. It loses immediate efficiency, but it has big value payoffs in the end. Maybe 9-pin. Oh,
really taking a think here.
Yeah, Jay
Yep, Jay
knows what the best immediate play is, and he's like, but I want to do better, and he does end up settling on the 9-pin, 7-pin.
Whoa! All right, there's another 5. So now we've got a lot of tiles that'll put us into Tempai.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6 mod, 1 4-pin, 5 so. We would like the 2 so draw. Oh, how about this template? Riichi Tanya.
I mean, we are in first, so let's put pressure on the board. Makes sense to me.
How about another Ipatsumo?
Well, we can always hope for it.
Jay will need a lot of hands like that. Hey!
Oh, right. Speak it into existence. There it is.
Yeah, this has been happening a lot tonight. How about... Cannot find the Uda, though. That's twice now that Jay's gotten a Mongon, but missed on the Uda that would... Or, I think the last one was just 1326, but missed on the Uda that would have bumped the value. Still, can't complain about being at 49,000 points. South 3, a dealership remaining yet for Jay. And now we go to Lucas in third. Red Dragon Dora, once held by the dealer.
Yeah, but the rest of the shapes are just so good. I don't know if I want to hang on to that for too long.
Could end up being Tanya. I mean, you could 2-pin and see what happens.
Right. 2-pin for now. See what we draw next.
But you're right. That tune could be coming out soon. You might cut the penchant over it.
3-pin.
Like if you're thinking about Tanya, this 3-pin is not so bad because we can make a 3, 4, 5. Maybe use the 6
so we went for
the pair depending on how our so shape resolves.
Yeah. Well, okay. We're gonna stick with our plan though. Ooh, although across the way we got another Tanyao hand. It's also developing quite quickly.
This 2-pin a little bit of an awkward draw. There was thoughts of 3, 4, 5 Sanjaku, but now we just play standard.
Yeah, do we toss door now? It's the end of row 1.
We are going to see it. I was wondering if Lucas might consider Chitoy as a possibility at this point. But Lucas is in the past that he, doesn't really think too much about greeting the Dora when there's efficiency to be had. So
Dragon. Don't want that. Not too much going on right now. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we drop the 1 pin. Absolutely.
This hand could
And
be good.
that's not quite Tenpai yet. Yeah, not quite. Ooh, 7. Okay, yeah, now we drop the 3. Oh, the redundant 4. That's fine.
One of the things about this 4 is so many 2-so and 3-so come out that there's actually a little less utility that the 4 gives you. Also, good thing of this is just a Tanya Ishanten that's holding a 6-pin pair and a 3-5-5 incomplete shape and a 6-7 mod incomplete shape.
Yeah, Jay is the one that's getting the short end of the draws right now.
Each.
Okay, there's our first draw into Tenpai. No reason to take the 7. That is
Tough
not
choice here.
Tenpai.
7 mod safe play, but it's going to be tough to fight against this because most of the tiles you have to cut are not clear whatsoever.
Yeah, and then we do. Oh, that's also Tenpai on the left now.
Incidentally, Tempai for Brian on 2-5-so, but who'd he done so that that
Oh,
just came out
Furten.
not
Yeah,
gonna win?
I was gonna say, wait a second. Is it not what I thought it was? Oh, it is, but it's Furten. Yeah. Is there any? Oh, there's 1-5 left. All right. So we got a chance.
Brian can maybe hang on to this Tempai.
Yeah, Lucas is just gonna fold now.
Tumon is safe. Paimon also safe.
Yep.
Lucas, I don't think you want to cheat that. We'll give the last draw to the Ricci player. There are some instances where you do want to allow the Ricci player to win, but this certainly isn't one of them.
No.
And that will send us into All Last J.
To all last with Jay, who is in first. So we kind of just want to, yeah, as you said earlier, just somebody. I'll pay you 1,000 just to end the game if you just want to do that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna try to not deal in here or win something myself if it's possible. But not a great hand to do that with.
Given the current standings, Jay always has incentive to collect more points, so he'll certainly try to win this hand, but it's a rough high pie to work that. The second best alternative is that Lucas or Kevin hit Brian for 5,200 and drop him below 30,000 points. That Jay picks up an extra 5 points of Uma, being the only player
Right.
over 3,000 points.
That would be the best case scenario, but of course you don't have any real say over that. So
Right. Also, the White Dragon being Dora is really awkward.
yeah, White Dragon being Dora and yeah, 3-1 copies out
This
might slow this hand down quite a bit.
time? Yeah, Lucas will cut it here.
All right, yep, that prompts the other cuts. Well, red also needs to go because that's a Dora indicator.
Ishanten for Lucas, which is play the perfect Ishanten. If he's trying to find a Mongon or some type of Hanuman, he might think about the Itsu, but just plays for the shapes as they are.
Yeah, the second 5 doesn't really help us here.
Or did it?
Well,
It's okay, this is just disguising the inevitable 3-6-8.
do we want to keep that 6? Actually, yeah, I was gonna say maybe we do want to keep that 6.
Kind of interesting. Brian drew the 3-so, and the 2-so looks like a really good weight here, but ultimately values the Sanchoku. Like, there's a world you play for Junchan with a 5-mon cut. You draw the 2-so and cut the 1-pin triplet down to a pair. Then you have all your Junchan blocks
Yeah.
in the Sanchoku, but
Yeah, well, still a little ways away from that though. Need to start drawing what we the 9. Okay. This hand's kind of going all over the place.
notably the red dragon can only be a pair as the other two are the
1
indicator and had discarded. Uh-oh. Well, if our plan was going to be Chanta, it's now gone. We're going to cut the Chun Chun because they're safe.
Yep.
5-mon would deal in, so had Brian played for that Chanta earlier with his 5-mon cut, would have been caught cutting the pair.
Yeah, there was one of the 5s, but we have safe tiles. We have a couple of safe tiles as the dealer here, so, or at least relatively safe tiles. Pin 6-mon is safe. 6-mon is safe. But so is 7 and 8.
Hanging on to this tempai. Now, if he's no temp and no one is tempai except for Kevin, Lucas will still retain the 3rd place because of the Ricci stick that was lost by Kevin. However, obviously Lucas wants to hold his tempai for as long as possible to try to sneak out a win and steal those points.
Ooh, 5-pin. No, we're just gonna
リーチ
fold here, right? Oh, no. They are gonna reach you. Okay.
Just deciding whether to reach your dump. Will slam and put himself at a little bit of risk, but with the white dragon having come out so many times, it's unlikely that he would deal in here. Does get Lucas out, and we will go again.
Yeah, we did snag a few points off of the other player that's above 30k, so makes it a little easier for them to drop below. On this hand, we do have the pair of red dragons, but it's Mochi Mochi.
Boom.
While Lucas has a free hand to play. No
Yeah.
thought needed.
Yeah, yeah. As you saw, it instantly called East. Was like, yeah, don't need to think. It's gonna, which might even, again, just kind of throw out red flags immediately. Why is the North player calling East like drop number 2? No hesitation, huh?
At the same time, I
What are
don't
we
think
doing?
players can afford to care.
That's also true. It is South 4.
1
Yeah, Jay just hoping that red dragon comes out.
A little bit of
Looks
trouble
like.
because Brian also hoping that the red dragon comes out. Mochi Mochi.
Yep.
Lucas.
Come on. Oh, okay. Is that
Not quite,
nope,
but
not quite.
very, very close. He could even get
Yep, not
Itsu
quite.
out of this. For Pinchy.
Yeah, needs the 1 and the 4.
Yeah.
North is twice cut. No reason to keep that.
What draw are we sad about if you're Lucas? Probably the 8-pin. It's a tempai I
Yeah.
don't want.
Yeah, 8-pin is, I think, the
Boom.
worst.
Jay advancing towards a fake Tanyo.
3-pin would be funny.
3-pin. Just a Yaman weight, but like a weird way to get there.
Right.
Oh, there it is. This is super wide.
Yep, that might be the best case scenario.
Yeah, we get the 147 with the 1-pin. Also the being Itsu and also the 2-pin for the pair weight.
West is twice cut already. No, it's thrice cut. 7. There's one of the 7s. Do we sniff it out? For now, we are. Yeah, 5 mon is fine.
Ryan can actually afford to deal the 7-pin into Honitsu only. Get your
Yeah,
Chinitsu
I don't
trainer
think that
on.
changes
Is that
anything.
5-pin to draw better? Probably not.
No, I don't think so. The only way I could see it is if you drop the 9, but I still don't think that's any better.
Oh, with this
Dong.
There
expensive
goes the
side, he
1.
could not afford to deal into that one. And that's going to drop Ryan below 30k here. Lucas picking up all those sticks, but will still fall just behind for third place. And you know what? Jay ends
Yeah, Jay,
up netting big
the only one above.
points.
When the last time he was the only one below. So hey, we made those bonus 5 back.
All right, so exciting set of games there. I'm glad we got to catch some A1 action before calling it for the evening. The standings now solidified even further. And this season is super tight.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. The top 3 real close together, and then another grouping of 3, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Jay will be picking up points
Last.
as this game gets recorded, and the other 3 dropping a little bit further down in the standings. And we're getting to the end now. We are almost through the 4th round, so only 2 rounds remaining. Of course, for players that are in position rounds, have position rounds available, they got to make sure that you finish your 5th round games on schedule so that we can plan for the 6th round, where your position will determine your pairings. This is applicable, of course, to A1 and perhaps a couple other divisions on top of it, as our standings do get updated. A lot yet to be determined. No one's run away with this one in Division A1.
Yeah, all 8 games are going to be important, so got to stay on your toes.
And of
Because
course,
you can easily rack up 100 points in 8 games.
absolutely, we've seen people rack up over 100 points in 4 games.
That's true. That's true.
All right, well, that will finish us off for the evening. We've had a day where we I think we visited almost every division. The only one we missed, I think, was A2. And that is simply because there were no A2 games scheduled. But we hit every single other division in the league. So a fantastic day. Thanks to all the players for showing off some excellent Mahjong. Thanks to all the viewers for tuning in and hopefully enjoying the stream alongside a whole host of commentators. We had a bunch of people showing up for what was going to be a busy day. So thanks to Chika and also to Ty and Jeffrey for hopping in on the stream. Always appreciate the hearing and talking to y'all.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, for folks who are interested in participating in the league and you haven't had the chance to do so, there is a deadline for the registration for the next season. That is September 8th. So if anyone's interested in participating, make sure to get to visit AmericanRicci.org before that deadline. I heard personally from a few people at the Texas Ricci Open that we'd have some new entrants into Armel next season, and I cannot wait to watch those games for all those new folks. I also saw some people joining as sub players this season that will be going on a full-time basis next season. So really looking forward to that as well. Who knows? We might even get a brand new division.
After so many years of not, so many seasons of not getting a C2, getting a C3 immediately would be quite funny. But
It would be quite funny. I don't think we're gonna get that crazy, but you never know. That
you
being
never. I mean, it would be great. I'm always happy to see more players and just grow the community and get to see so many people having a fun time with mahjong. So
absolutely. Thanks to everyone for being such a great part of the community. We will see you in our next broadcast, which I believe will be our regular Wednesday broadcast next week. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next time.